Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, get ready for an entertainment explosion. Get ready for an avalanche of awesomeness. Get ready to go live with your boy. Here he is, Hoodie Jube. And make sure to hit the subscribe button for your chance to win tickets to a live New Orleans Saints football game.
Alrighty, who that to my YouTube, man? How's everybody doing, y'all? Everybody doing good tonight? Y'all doing good? Because your boy Hoodie Jube's always doing good, man. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat, man. But I always tell everybody, there's no better way to start off the show, right? Then thank you, Mr. Dynamite, for that sick intro, man. We love it. And as always, we always start off the show listening to it twice.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, get ready for an entertainment explosion. Get ready for an avalanche of awesomeness. Get ready to go live with your boy. Here he is, Hoodie Jube. And make sure to hit the subscribe button for your chance to win tickets to a live New Orleans Saints football game.
Alrighty, let's shout out everybody that's in the chat right here. We got Coach Rudy in the building. He said, I'm here first. Coach Rudy in here, man. Mr. Jerry's always in here. Who that to you, Mr. Jerry? Glad to see you in here. We got Don in here. Who that to you? We got Miss Madison up in here. Who that to you, baby? We got Last Saint, Mr. Tyrese, who's going to be on the podcast with us like always in the round table. Who that to you, my brother? Who that to Mr. Brian, man? Who that to you? And also, who that to Mr. Jasper, man? Who that to you? Glad to see you up in here. So, let's bring, the first two people on the show, y'all. We got to bring two of them. We got to first introduce one, and we always know him as, the Last Saint. We also know him as Mr. Tyrese. He also has his own YouTube channel. So make sure you go search up The Last Saint on YouTube, and you can subscribe to him and show him some love. So here he is. Let's welcome Mr. Tyrese. Tyrese, welcome, man.
Hey, y'all. What's up? Y'all?
Nothing much, my brother. I'm trying to fix my headset right now. Hold on. Something's weird. You coming through my computer. Hold the hell up.
All right, man. I got some technical difficulties today, bro. Today. Jerry had to cool off. Man, God, Jerry had that touchdown, man. God damn him. Damn his soul. Man, that was the Steelers game, bro. Damn.
Let's see.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. You just coming through my You're coming through my computer for some reason. This is being weird. Hold on.
You got me echoing. What we gonna trade for? We have a trade.
You what?
They're saying that Russell Wilson is the trade here.
Yeah, he's interested, but let's see.
A late one.
Like me, I'm not really interested in Russell. I don't care. I don't know what the hell is wrong with my microphone. My headset. Literally, it was just working right before we went live, and now it's not working. Hold on.
I think you got tricked on, boy. Unless your mic on that scissor. I don't know, John. What happened to that? Somebody tell me. Yeah, somebody tell me what happened to that option. John Thomas. Slim, who knows, man? James Winston was playing. Jasper brother. Somebody supposed to look at that, man. Damn.
Oh, I gotta put the link in there for everybody too to join on in.
Yeah, we are echoing now.
Hey,
Shit.
he said there's an echo. I know there's an echo. It's coming from my computer. For some reason the sound is coming through my computer instead of it's picking up over here. It's just weird as hell. I want to know why is it doing this. I'm having some technical difficulties out. So hold on 1 second. Let's see if I can figure this shit out. Let's go to settings. It's just like my headset just randomly went out. That's weird as hell. We're gonna fix this shit, y'all. I might just have to restart the damn live. I wonder if I just gotta restart this shit. Let's see. But let's bring on somebody else onto the server. Let's talk a little bit. But I know there's gonna be a little bit of echo too. Let's see, y'all. Alright, if my live does end, y'all, if it does end, I'm gonna start right back up, y'all. I'm gonna hit the refresh button on this damn shit because I'm having technical difficulties because like the headset was working, now it's not working. So hold on 1 second. Hello. Let's see. Why is this like this? Hey, can y'all hear me on here? Can y'all hear me? Let's see. Hey, can you hear me? Hey, Tyrese, can you hear me? Alright, it's coming to my headset now. But I got this little black, like, gray screen on here. This is weird. I'm like, what is this? Alright, let me refresh it one more time. Maybe it'll leave. Hello. We here. Tyrese? Alright, cool. We got you now. Alright, now let's do this. Now let's, let me do an introduction. I can hear you through my headphones now, which is good. Alright. So also let's bring on another guy that's gonna be on the round table, y'all. So I think we got everything straight now. Thank y'all for waiting in here. So let's bring on somebody that everybody loves and everybody knows him. And everybody knows him because and I guess you can say everybody loves him too, man, because he will speak the knowledge and he will speak the facts to you. He wins that championship, around that damn shoulder because freaking he is the damn champion, y'all. So let me introduce him, y'all. It's Mr. C.T. Crusher. Welcome,
Hey,
Crusher.
baby, who that? Who that, family? Long time no see. It seemed like hope everybody doing well. Sending all my love across the interwebs tonight. Very major. Who that? Y'all crush that like button. Oh man, been a crazy week. Straight up, R.I.P. to Demarius Thomas. I just heard about, and also R.I.P. to Glenn Foster, who had tragically passed away a few days ago. Still investigating on what happened with that. But much T's and P's go out to both of those family here in the holiday season, man. What's good with y'all?
Yes, sir. Definitely got to go out to them. We got to pray for these families and stuff like that. But not much, man. Just got home from work not too long ago. Ready to talk some Saints football with everybody. But I know a lot of people are talking about the Russell Wilson trade. He said he might open up his no trade clause. Try to go to the Saints, the Broncos, or the Who was the third team? It was the Broncos, the Saints, the Giants. And I'm thinking,
Giants.
and the Giants. And I was like, it don't matter to me. At the end of the day, I want Jameis Winston back in my heart. I already told everybody. I feel like Jameis Winston's the dude. You'll have him at least a 15-plus years. You know, Russell Wilson, you might have another 5 years. And I feel like, I mean, if you look at the way Jameis played, he brought us to 5-2 with the receivers core that we still have right now. You know, he still got the same core that we had. And Russell Wilson was 4-8 over there, and he's got DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett. So, I mean, like, I don't know what their excuses of not being able to move the ball down the field. So, I mean, I know a lot of people might get excited about a Russell Wilson trade because, you know, Russell Wilson's a big name. But I'm telling you, I feel like Jameis Winston's better, in my opinion, right now. Like, the way he played this year, the way Jameis Winston plays underneath Sean Payton, he's a way better quarterback than what he was when he was in Tampa.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm not sure. I got a bad echo.
You got a bad echo?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, you know, as far as of late, you know, Sean, you know, been very frustrating. So play calling ain't really been there the last couple games. You know, him just trying to fidget and do what he can to keep the ball, you know, on the field basically. But you know, him and Russell Wilson, it does change the dynamic. If you have somebody like him in the lineup, you know, what would that, you know, help extend plays, so to speak, or get anybody open, or throw anybody open, or see things that other, you know, veterans that, you know, tend to see them. But at the same time, you know, I've been saying this all year. I haven't really seen I've seen a lot of regression in Russell Wilson this year. You know, his decision making and, you know, being in that system, you know, almost kind of like tarnishing him a little bit, you know. So I don't really, you know, jump over the moon when I hear shit like that. You know, I mean, it's like, woohoo, you know, Russell Wilson. Yeah, and you're exactly right. You think of the weapons that he's had, you know, offensively, and they haven't been able to move the ball. And when you look at that offense, you don't necessarily see any discrepancies, any, you know, major gaping holes that would, you know, make you feel like, you know, something's went awry there. You know, defensively, it's a weird game, but I mean, I know I hear Tyrese, but I'm saying I don't see Russell Wilson, you know, making the best out of the situation he has. You know, a la Aaron Rodgers or a la anybody else. You know, you look around the league right now. So I'm not sure what people see what's going on with Russell Wilson, man. I really don't care. I mean, it's like week 14, bro. What are we gonna hop on a trading block when we got 5 games left, possibly trying to make the playoffs?
You can't even trade them.
That's a perfect example of why this season is just, it is what it is this season. You know, distracted and lingering, wandering eyes. So
you can't even trade anyway.
Talking about wide receivers in the draft next year, man.
I mean, it's like, ooh, Russell Wilson, ooh, wide receiver, ooh, Andrews Pete, ooh, Teron, ooh, the New York Jets, ooh. It's like, bro, it's exhausting. You feel me? If Russell Wilson there and the opportunity take it, and we want to get him and we can afford him, then fine. But what I see in Jameis Winston is somebody you getting in for cheaper value, you getting in at a ground level, you getting in the way you can, you know, retune some things in their technique and make them a better quarterback. Russell Wilson is Russell Wilson. You don't just go somewhere. You know, Tom Brady didn't go to Tampa Bay and just mostly learn Bruce Arians' offense, right? Like Tom Brady pretty much, Bruce Arians had to do a lot of that compromising than more Tom Brady did with Bruce Arians. Let's just, you know, talk about that for a minute. So, come on, bro. Like, I mean, Russell Wilson still doesn't give us a left tackle if Teron gone. He doesn't bring over, you know, what's his name a right guard. If Pete's gone, he's not catching the ball. He's not bringing, you know, Chris Lockett. He's not bringing decaf. So it's like Russell is Russell, but who cares if you're not really, if it's all contingent on having a better team and just having a better quarterback, taking all of that money away from the capital to make a better team, what are we talking about? It's almost frustrating that, headlines like that, go on. It's like not week 10 at all no more, bro. Like, it's not week 7. It's not like, it's like this shit even happening next year or it's not happening. And you got people literally like, oh, man, we can go get him today. And I don't mean to be an asshole, but it's like, really, bro? Ain't nobody going to get a quarterback week. How y'all doing tonight, man? Y'all doing good, bro? Everybody good, bro? That's just
I'm
crazy.
good. I'm good, man. Hey, you know what I've been doing, huh? Because Tyrese already knows. Me and him got together one night and we was talking about it. I was watching college highlights of wide receivers from the draft that's coming up to see who's gonna fit our offense, the best. Man, and
Yeah.
I told him, I said, I'm basically the one that literally says I'd rather tank than go to the playoffs. Like I told him, I said, you more than welcome to make the playoffs, Saints. But when you make the playoffs, your schedule's gonna be harder. It's gonna be harder next year. You're gonna go do that, and you're gonna get a top 20 pick instead of a top 10 pick. I'd rather get a top 10 than a top 20.
Nah. Listen, look, you talking about getting top 10 and all that, bro. You was listening to all those wide receivers the other night, and we are not getting any of the top 5 that you mentioned. So
yeah, we can get them. Traylon Burks, we can definitely get. We got a chance to get. We got a chance of getting Traylon Burks.
Bro, can y'all hear me, man?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I don't know. Unless you're talking Master P, you're not talking about no New Orleans Saints tanking. I mean, I think we're going to end up where we end up, like deliberately going tank. You might as well get Master P to come, perform and make him say, if you're going to do that shit. Because that's the only tank you're going to see. You're not Sean Payton. Sean Payton got his balls is too big. He ain't the tanking type. Sean Payton, I promise you right now, thinking about how he gonna redesign his offensive line before he do anything. I guarantee that. Before he even think about getting a wide receiver, running back, anything, he thinking about this offensive line because there's gonna be some changing parts. Shit, I don't even know if Cesar Ruiz is gonna be on the team next year. It's weird, so and we gotta live and die with that because of the last draft picks we didn't have with this offensive line craziness. Going against Cesar Ruiz, because he was the best available offensive lineman, but then you switch him out to be a tackle. And then on top of that, you take the tackle, and now he's trying to go play center because Eric McCoy was hurt, and then you just got him all discombobulated from that standpoint. You can tell he's like really a small guy. He's lost a lot of weight. I'm not sure what happens with Cesar Ruiz. Outside other than I'm 100% sure that Teron Armstead, T-Stead, out of respect, gonna get his walking papers. I do believe that. And I don't know if we spending all that money on Andrews Pete, so it's other things that's going on. And it's not like the whole Russell Wilson or this top-notch quarterback type of thing. It's like, and none of that, it's like, y'all relax, bro. Y'all got to really be practical about stuff, But I get it, though, because you need the dopamine. You need the spark. You need the happiness. You need something to look forward to because there's been a lot of gloom and doom this year. So, I mean, I'm not going to be the one to piss in the cornflakes. If they get somebody happy or excited about next year, then awesome. But I just, I'm too realist, and the gray hair is for no reason. I'm just kind of, stuck in logic half the time. So,
yeah, CT. I'm not even thinking about next year, man. I'm thinking about these next few weeks coming up. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about these teams about to choke. We still got a lot of games left. Washington is bound to get one loss.
Right.
I think this Jets game will be.
I believe so too.
I think
we got a chance to beat. I think we got a chance to beat either. We either. I mean, we basically. I think we're gonna beat the Buccaneers again. Like I think we might drop one of these games we supposed to win, and we're gonna win one of these games we supposed to lose. And you're gonna see where the chips may fall.
Buccaneers game, CT, man. Because I mean, I won't lie. The Miami Dolphins game after that, that's going to be a hard fight too, because the Dolphins are on
Yeah, they on
a
the street.
5-game streak right now. You know,
Yeah, they doing their thing. Miami
they
doing their
are.
thing. Definitely coming up. You know, like it's weird. It's coming down to the stretch. You know, we go 4-1, we might have a chance, but then you got 6 teams ahead of us that you pretty much wishing to lose, and you going through the rest of these football weekends hoping that the teams that are the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seeds are the ones that actually are winning, because once with them winning, it kind of solidifies them top notch teams and pushes a lot of the teams that's in the hunt above us out of the
Yeah,
way, while we continuing to win. And I mean, we went from we basically had the toughest strength of schedule up till now, to date. We were number 1, but
to
from
this
the rest
day.
of the way out, we number 27th. So schedule gets a little easier. Things might fall into place. We might find ourselves in a playoff. Don't really know. It's one play at a time. So it is what it is. But just for long term and for short term, I just see things a little bit different. Being a lineman myself, playing football at the line of scrimmage is where it matters, and I seen way too many flaws for anybody to think of anything other than that. On the offensive side of the ball, definitely.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. That's why in order for us to win, we definitely gotta, attempt to run the ball.
Yeah.
I think I don't know about the backfield of the running backs getting those extra yards. Maybe they get like 2 or 3 yards a pop. You know what I'm saying? But I do like Taysom Hill running that ball. Running that rock and shotgun. In my opinion, if I could whisper to Taysom Hill, I'd say, hey man, look, I'm gonna need you to put your body on the line. For these stretches of the games. You know what I'm saying? Go do some hurdling. Go lower your shoulder and hit somebody real
Hey,
hard. We gotta get all the
that's
wins we can get, bro.
yeah. I mean, and that's it. Like, yeah, for short term, I think we live just like the Dallas game. We're gonna live and die by Taysom Hill and his athleticism and his arm. His athleticism kept us in the game. His mallet finger or lack of throwing skill, technique, cash, Taysom Hill throws is what pushed us out of the game, which will win. It's like a duality inside of him. It's the good and the bad, but what will triumph this weekend, and hopefully all the good stuff triumphs.
Yeah, definitely
Basically.
football
But
in this
for a
too.
long term, just for a long term purposes, I don't really the draft picks we used on Cesar Ruiz is what really haunts me, because I don't see him working out, and it's all gonna like converge on the same time of us having possibly to have cap issues,
Yeah,
having to have Teron Armstead possibly put his toes in the water, and this whole Andrews Pete thing with us having money issues in the first place. What direction do we go with this offensive line, long term,
now with
before we
Andrews
get
Pete,
anything other than that, you know?
now with
So
Pete, and now with Teron Armstead, get rid of them.
I mean, it's almost looking like that, but of course, I'm not Mickey Loomis and I'm not Jeff Ireland, and I wanna have so much trust in them and what they want to do in the draft, but these last couple draft picks has been stupid, bro. Now that we look back on the season we didn't had and the situations that we didn't been through, why go waste a draft pick on Peyton Turner? Why go waste a draft pick on Cesaro? Like these are picks that that shit is definitely hunting us. And I don't see a way we let Cesaro Ruiz. I mean, he's still on the rookie contract. He's not getting a bag or nothing, but just talent wise, I mean, he has to evolve quickly. Like he has to get bigger. He has to get smarter. He has to get stronger. Like it's one thing for an offensive line to be big and nasty and want to fight and set the tone on the line of scrimmage and assert themselves. It's another thing when you got this big wall fortress that's communicative, that's smart, that play with each other, and that takes time to build. Definitely takes time to build. So when you get any type of kink in that, it takes a while to kind of flesh that out and see where you go from there. And that's just kind of where I'm at with it. I know teams get by with not the best offensive lines, of all, but we've had one of the better old lines, in the last 5 years than anybody in the league. So we haven't seen that this year. So when we talk about Wilson and Deshaun and I get all that, but I see the person that's supposed to block for him. I don't see them so much,
Yeah, man, we
Yep.
definitely need to see about getting a tackle. Well, I don't know, offensive lineman in the second round. We definitely
Yeah.
need somebody like big and tall, man.
Big and tall. Yo,
big and tall
big and
guy.
tall, but smart. You know what I'm saying? Versatile, but just very smart and can communicate. Like a lot of things you really can, be coached on. But I see Cesar Ruiz is a little undersized, and it's kind of starting to be a little bit glaring. To a point where you kind of see it on film. It's like he's undersized, man.
Hey, sign Zion Williamson, man. He ain't doing shit with the Pelicans. Sign him as a tackle. All the things you want to do.
Oh my
that man's
God.
strong as a bitch.
Yeah.
He big as what they say. He big as an ox, man. Sign him
Man,
over.
that might be what's about to happen. That's funny. Zion is big, bro. That boy Zion, extra large. Straight up.
For the Pelicans right now, man.
Or get on his diet or something, dog. Like Cesar is very small, bro. Like he just a So I don't mean to come on here, guys, and to be this, kind of old ass man, stuck in the stick in the mud type of shit. But I'm just like, I hear all about, Russell, and I hear all about that, but I haven't really been a Russell Wilson fan for the last couple of years because he get a lot of MVP talk and he makes the best throws he can make. He got one of the best arms in the game, but offensively, I don't see him taking a product and making it better. And I haven't seen that in 2 or 3 seasons from Russell Wilson. And, I 2 years ago, I said DK Metcalf with somebody like Russell. I don't understand how you stop them. I don't understand how and then you take somebody like Chris Carson and Lockett and Everett. Like, I don't see how you stop them. And they've just been everything but stopped. And, it's the coaching. A lot to do with defensive-minded coaching and things like that, but they kind of haven't worked out. And I mean, I seen the writings on the wall too. If he's not a Saint or whatever, he's definitely not going to be a Seattle Seahawk next year. I believe that in my heart. He basically gave them a proposition before the season even started. We play better, or else, and they have not played better. I mean, when they thinking they winning the Super Bowl, beating the 49ers to get to 4-8. It's you would have thought they, so.
Yeah, man. I don't know what's going on with Russell Wilson, man. Like I thought he signed a good contract. He always starting in the league. I mean, Russell Wilson probably ain't going nowhere. But I'll be honest, man, Russell Wilson has been having garbage ass offensive linemen. I'm surprised he hasn't had any huge injuries these past years.
Me too. And that's his resourcefulness too, his caginess, right. Extending the plays, getting out of the pocket, which is all fine and dandy. You know what I'm saying? But it's just something about Russell Wilson, it's like a lot of people go one way with, quarterbacks like him, but me, like, it's like I'm the lingering thought. I'm like, well, okay, but I don't see I'm like that with Lamar Jackson right now. I've been like that for 2 seasons. So it's just like I see what people talk about with these quarterbacks. But are they gonna win it? And of course, Russell is a proven elite quarterback. I don't see it, but it's almost the same narrative with me and Lamar Jackson. Because I don't necessarily see that success that other people see in MVP and blah blah blah, and his passing numbers is getting better and all this other shit. I don't see that.
Yep.
Well, I kind of see it with Lamar Jackson. He definitely can't be running a lot like he does because he's just gonna hurt himself a lot. So they're trying to fix his arm mechanics. I think
Yeah,
it's gonna work. I mean, he
yeah.
hasn't
I
thrown
hope
a
it
lot of
works.
picks, but he's still a playmaker. So
Yeah,
I think next season he'll be way better than what he is currently.
I hope so, bro. I hope so. I hope Greg Roman and Hans Harbaugh can put people around him to make him a better football player. But not to go get sidetracked, but I kind of see the similarities, with how the career is progressing for Lamar Jackson. With how I see a Lamar, how I see Russell Wilson right now. And not as crisp, not as smart, not as as commanding of a pocket and an offense as he used to be. And it's kind of going in the other direction to me, is not going forward. And, so that could be a lot of headache for, coming into a new system with somebody like Russell Wilson, especially when a lot of other things on this team are very contingent. A lot of things are very contingent. It's a lot of things that are very, very, very contingent for us to just be worried about going to get some blockbuster quarterback. It's not 1997 anymore.
Yep.
You ain't lying.
Hey, also we're about to bring on another guest that's gonna be hopping on the show with us right now, and everybody knows who it is, y'all. And everybody, when I just say these two letters, they know who he is. O.G. Yes, y'all know who it is. It's the OG, the one who will bring the subscribers to you, Mr. Jerry.
Mr. J.
Welcome, Mr. Jerry.
What's up, Jay?
Hey, what's up?
Nothing
Not
much,
much,
Mr.
man.
What's
Jerry.
good, baby?
What's good, CT Crusher? What's up, Tyrese? What's up, Hoodie?
What's happening?
What up, what up, what up?
Suffering, man.
Nothing
Vikings
much,
won.
man. Ugh.
Yeah,
Man, fuck Minnesota, man.
Yeah, fuck them boys, man. I hope they
Steelers
They
make
got
it
lost.
past the
down, man.
playoffs, man.
no,
So
Minnesota
what's the
won.
score?
Hey,
Oh,
It was
no, the Vikings
36-28.
lost. I mean, the Vikings won.
36-20. And Steelers had a chance at the last 2 seconds to tie the game up, to try to force the game to go to overtime. And number 88 just dropped the ball, man, and that ended the game.
Ah,
I'm like, oh shit.
Jared, did the
who,
safety hit him or he
Deontay?
just dropped it?
Who is 88? Who is 88? Is that
That
Fastmouth?
the one that that's the number that throws something. But they go every time he catches the ball, everybody say "Hee." They know what
Oh
it is.
yeah, yeah,
That guy,
yeah,
that guy.
yeah, man.
Well,
It's
they had
crazy.
But when he caught that ball, man, he could have just held on to it, but that defense was all over him, and he dropped the ball. I'm like, shit.
Yeah. See,
And
and that's the type of
I
help
was
we
pulling
needed.
for
Yeah,
him.
that's who I thought it was. Fairmount. Yeah, that's what I thought it
Fairmont,
was.
yeah, that's him. That's
Yeah.
him. Yep.
That's the type of
Man,
help we needed too, huh, guys? Shit. I
man,
mean,
man.
so
I really wanted the Steelers to come back and tie this game up and go and force an overtime, and so they can have a chance to win the game. But man, that was bruh. But anyway,
Anyways,
had to get that out of me. But I want to
yeah,
address. I just want to address a few things.
Nepper Stepper,
Hey, what's up, man?
Ghost
Shout out
Pepper.
to everybody in the chat. But I want to address a few things. That's why I didn't come on earlier, Hoodie, because I had to address it in the chat. So I'm gonna address it live, and that is this. Everybody in the chat, if y'all see any bot accounts that pop up, all this like I said before in the past, all this negative stuff y'all see on there, either immediately block them or hit them immediately as soon as they creep up. Do it immediately, because I don't know what these bot accounts are. I don't have a clue what it is. Just block them or hit them immediately when you see them because
Yeah.
they're like been taking over for like the last couple of days. So I just wanted to address that to y'all. If you see any bot accounts or some spammers or trolls in the chat, as soon as you can, give them the treatment. Block them or hit them immediately.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just wanted to address that to the entire chat and to everybody else that's here. That's one. That's a public service announcement from yours truly.
Amen.
All right.
Yes,
Man.
sir.
Yep.
Yeah, I
And
mean, they did their job the other night because I was just, in the chat listening to y'all, and I heard
I see
y'all
you took
you
care of it.
guys react. You guys have reacted to something that I didn't even see in the chat line in the
Yeah, and I
line.
looked at it. I'm like, wait a minute, who the hell is what is this popping up? And I'm glad you was in the chat, CT Crusher, because I didn't have a clue who that was, or you didn't have a clue, so you took care of that. So big ups
Yeah,
to you,
no,
brother.
I'm saying before I could even do anything, it was gone. Like it didn't even show up as somebody even typing any messaging in my thing. Like so,
Yeah,
whoever your
man.
mod is did that. One of our fellow mods was on that expeditiously.
Yeah.
You're
All right, Joe Clark.
Yeah,
Nah, two other things I want to address, man. Dude, I'm sorry to hear about Demarius Davis. Demarius Thomas on the passing, man. I am very sorry to hear about that. So my prayers out to the Thomas family. I know this is devastating because that dude was a awesome wide receiver when he was with Denver. So
definitely,
it's sad to hear about that of the passing of that young brother. So my prayers and condolences go out to the family of the Thomas family of Demarius Day Thomas.
Marriage times. Yeah, man,
It
that's
shouldn't
sad,
have.
bro.
I don't know what happened,
Me neither. I just
but
was
it
about to
happened in
ask
Roseville,
somebody.
Georgia. But that's the only thing that I know. I don't know the actual death, but you can find that yourself. But all I can say is my prayers out to the family Demarius Thomas, and also prayers to the Foster family of Glenn Foster. Is that who that was?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Sad to hear about that. What happened a few days ago. So my prayers and condolences to his family as well. So I know it's devastated to hear, but you know, just keep praying and stay strong.
Yep.
no doubt.
That's all we can do is pray
All
for
right.
people and hope that everything gets better.
Yeah, man. That's
No doubt,
my,
man.
my, my,
But
my
I
prayers
would
to
love
all the
to,
families.
for everybody in the chat,
Go ahead.
brother. Like, if y'all find out what happened to Demarius Thomas, please let me know. Cause
Yeah, yeah.
I have no idea. I just heard it before we got on air, and I would
yeah.
love
It
to know
was
what
it was
happened,
a
man.
rumor at first, CT, and
I
Huh?
think
it
they
was
said
circulating, and then it was proven.
I didn't hear you.
No, I was saying it was a rumor at first, and then the family members proved it.
Oh, wow. Well,
supposedly somebody said when I was looking it up earlier, somebody said it was like a medical health issue or something when he got in a car accident and he couldn't survive the car crash.
Man, that's fucked up.
Oh, that's what happened.
Something with his medical health caused him to wreck or whatever, and then he couldn't
Oh,
he couldn't survive it. So
oh
oh,
shit. Damn.
All
because
right.
Demarius couldn't have been, 40, 41 years old, something
They
like
said he
that.
was
I'm
what?
guessing.
He was
he's
younger.
33.
He was younger than that.
Huh?
He was 33.
He died at 33.
Man, see, I'm totally off. Forgive me, man. I thought he was
That's all
older
right,
than
man.
us.
Yeah, 'cause that's what I thought. Cause I know he was younger when Denver drafted him at like around I
Yeah,
think
he must have been. Yeah,
2011. I think or
33,
2012.
man.
I figured he was younger than that. I kind of figured he was right there with me, but
Man,
man,
bro. And I know Glenn
man,
Foster was 3 years younger than me, and
yeah, he was like
it's
what
still an
39, wasn't he?
investigation out on that. You know, he died in police custody, and it seemed like nobody really know what happened. But the truth
Yeah.
will come out,
Man,
man.
damn, man. So you know what I'm saying. So shouts out to both of the family of those two guys right there, man. Because I know it's tough for them, but just stay strong, stay prayed up, and all that, man. Because
Yeah,
this stuff is no joke, man. They say mental health is serious, man. Because make you do something crazy and it'll take your life away, man. So just maintain that mental health, man, because it's no joke. It's
Yep.
absolutely no joke.
And then,
no doubt, man.
but but also we're gonna get back on to like the little Saints topic and stuff. And I wanted to ask Mr. Tyrese to speak on this one for me quick, and then we're gonna go around, to like Crusher and Jerry. But Tyrese. Oh, Tyrese must be making it back to the dang desk. Tyrese.
Yeah, I'm here. What's up?
All right. So this is my question for you. So
Yeah.
please answer this and tell me why the Saints shouldn't tank and try to make it to the playoffs.
Well, man, my reason is, you never know how teams get, when they start winning, especially a wild card team because they're so desperate for a victory. So if we can win out or win, the next 4 or 5 games or however many left and sustain only one loss and make it into the playoffs, this team will be hotter than your mom in '99 or the 2000. You know what I'm saying?
Oh shit.
So this Saints team, can definitely make something happen. Especially with the at least some players coming back to the team. Like hopefully a Ryan Ramchick or a Teron Armstead. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And I know everybody's railing on our tight end. I forgot his name. That's how horrible he was playing. Adam Troutman, yeah. Oh, maybe Taysom Hill can make something work with Adam Troutman. Those
yeah,
guys play kind of well. They play kind of well together. Looking at the film last season, they played
yeah,
decent together. And you have Alvin
and
Kamara too.
yeah,
And like I've been saying, the defense feeds off of the offense, man. When Jameis Winston was putting in that work, the defense was looking real solid. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So if Taysom Hill and Alvin Kamara can make it work with this offense leading into the the first round of the playoffs, because my thing is this, right? You keep playing hard, you keep fighting ferociously until the bitter end. I don't think we're going to even get a really good spot on the draft either way it goes. I think we're going to be backed up anyway because coach is going to keep fighting, and with the reps we're getting, and hopefully, I pray to God that Quan Baker and Eastside Winston play, and I hope to God that they really try to prove something on the field, you know. And regarding Kevin White, I don't know what to say about him. Kenny Stills rubbed off on him too badly.
Hey, what's up, Kevin?
yeah.
So you gotta
Hey,
keep fighting,
so
baby. Give
so
up.
Crusher.
Hmm.
So what's your thoughts? Should the Saints because we already know the Saints ain't a tanking team, but can you see? Do you rather us make the playoffs, or do you rather us miss the playoffs and get something better out of it? Because I know Tyrese said he wants
It
to see us make
depends,
the
really.
playoffs.
It really is one of those situations to me where it depends. I mean, you're still looking at a team that, like I said a couple minutes ago, we basically the 27. We got the 27th ranked, easiest schedule left out of all the teams. We played the hardest schedule to date out of all the teams in the league. We still got a top 10 rushing defense. We still number one in like yards per average. I think number 10 in like rushing touchdowns. We still got a number fourth ranked defense with 11 picks. I think we ranked number 12th in takeaways overall on defense. We got a lot of good pieces on defense. The defense is good. It's a lot of other scenarios where defense really giving up too many points, or you don't see them as reliable as they should be. But our defense is definitely there right now. For what that 27 points, I don't really look at that extra 7, the garbage time 7, because that was a pick 6 basically, and so we took the number 1 scoring offense and yard offense and held them to 20 points. So I think it's like a decimal below what they've been running. We held Dak with 10 pressures. It's a lot of pressures. Got a sack, got a pick. We got a lot of promising things going on defensively. We gonna get healthy. Maybe we see CD Deuce out there this week. Not even if this week, the week after. So like we got some pieces coming back. Warner, was questionable as well, I think, but he's not going nowhere. He's gonna play. Our defensive line, you would love to see more interior pressure. A little bit more pressure on the quarterback. But as far as everything else goes, and I hope we can get Marcus playing good. I hope he plays this weekend. So we have a lot of good things going on the defensive side of the ball, and we could go up against a team that this weekend against the Jets, which are ranked like 30. They dead last in turnovers. They have like 25 turnovers this season. So could we get one of those? Let me hold something. Like we could steal a couple drives away from them. They defense only has like 9 takeaways on the year. So they not a very stingy defense. If we could get Ram, Kamara, and Ingram back against the 30th ranked rushing defense in the league, as far as rushing touchdowns go, we could get on a run. I mean, it's offensively it's still up in the air, but defensively we outclassed them in every aspect of the game, and we still got the numbers to prove it. We still number 2, 3 in the red zone. Offensively still number 2 or 3 in the red zone. We still got a lot of good things going on this football team. Can we take away the interceptions? We could get on a run. We could get some healthy pieces back here and put not be good, just be average and go 4-1 and go 4-1 these last 5 games, and we could find ourselves in the playoffs, especially how things looking now. Of course, we need help. But people playing for contracts, people playing for next year. They're not playing to you kind of want to see where you headed at, next year, not just pack it in. This ain't no pack it in team. We ain't never packed it in. That ain't never happened. Like I don't even know how you even go about saying that. Even our 7-9 records was something that came down to the ending of the year where we losing games and we out of the playoffs because it's the last couple games of the year came down to the wire. So we're never gonna tank. It's nothing about a tank. We ain't making nobody say nah. New Orleans doesn't tank. We're gonna keep fighting and keep playing and see where the chips will fall. Even if we tank, it doesn't necessarily mean we going to do something magnificent or something so substantial anyway. So we still got something to play for in my book. If our defense wasn't playing well, then no. But our defense is playing well, and it is very muffled and it's very overlooked by the offensive woes. But we're still right there in the hunt. We could go 4-1 and need some help. Of course, get some help and find ourselves in the playoffs. So that's where I'm at with it. It starts in Jersey this weekend.
Let's hear what Mr. Jerry have. Jerry, what's your thoughts?
Well, fellas, after what y'all just said, the The only thing that is on my mind right now, fellas, and everybody in the chat, I just want this losing streak to finally come to an end. I
Mm-hmm.
want to see the Saints try to snap that losing streak, starting with the Jets on Sunday. I want to see. I just want to see a rebound this Sunday in MetLife Stadium by beating the Jets. That's the only. That's my only advice leading up to this weekend. Because because if it because I got news for you. Because fighting for those last two seeds is going to be a tough challenge, because we just saw that Minnesota beat Pittsburgh just earlier, and anything else can happen on Sunday. Because you got Dallas playing Washington. They're gonna try to beat them up there, and then you got uh, I think you got the Eagles playing somebody. I don't know if they're on a bye week or if they playing this
Yeah, he was
weekend.
on
I
a
don't
bye.
know.
Eagles on the
Huh?
bye.
Are they on a bye?
Yep.
Okay, well, whoever else that's in the playoff hunt along with us, I hope that those teams right there lose whoever their next opponent is. So when we take care of the Jets on Sunday, we still might be in that hunt for that. Because, but if these other teams win and we do, that's that's our chances of making the playoffs could end up being slim to none.
Mm-hmm.
I know we got 5 games left, but but you know what I'm saying, I'm not giving up, but the Saints have to do their job and try to snap out of this losing streak they've been dealing with every week and start being on a winning streak with 5 games left. That's
Mm-hmm.
that's my only uh my only advice, my only encouragement to this team. I just want to see them snap this losing streak and start winning again, because if they keep losing like that, you might as well just say we're just playing for the draft. Cause that's basically what we're playing right now. For
Yeah.
right now, because and you sitting at 5-7, just come up a bad loss to the Dallas Cowboys, and now now you got the Jets coming up, you got the Buccaneers coming up on Sunday Night Football, you got the Dolphins, which are playing much better ball on Monday night, 2 days after Christmas, and then you got the Panthers coming in town, likely likely if they still got Cam Newton, if he's still on the bench, and you got the Atlanta Falcons at their house to end the season. So my prayer is this, man. They just need to come out and play their best Saint football like it's their last. I mean, I don't care if it's about the playoffs or trying to make the playoffs. I just want to win another freaking game. I just want the Saints to win another game. I'm not worrying about the playoffs right now. I'm worried about them winning a game again. That's the only thing out of me that I want to see this weekend. And that's all I got.
Gotcha. Well,
Well said.
basically, I'll let y'all. I guess I'll just tell y'all my thoughts. But I already told everybody this multiple times already, and I told them I already know the Saints ain't no taking team. We not gonna tank. But at the end of the day, I told people we can go for the playoffs. You can do whatever you can to try to make the playoffs, but it's not worth going to the playoffs because I told everybody we're not gonna make it out the first round. Our offense is just not good enough right now. We got too many pieces that we were missing. People are trying to come back from injury. You know, some of them might be coming back too early. It looks like because some people are just trying to do whatever they can to try to make a playoff run. And your defense is just getting tired on there because your offense can't do shit. Because once we lost Jameis, that whole thing went downhill. You've seen us. We ain't won a game without Jameis. Um, and then when you get to the playoffs, you get knocked out in the first round. That's all you get. The only thing that you're gonna say is like, "Hey, y'all made the playoffs. Congratulations. Y'all made the playoffs at 7 and whatever our record would be to make the playoffs." And when I tell people, but if we lose a few more games, let's say we just win against the Jets and we lose the rest of our games, so we go 6-11. Well, we'll have a top 10 pick. We ranked at number 11 right now, y'all, for the top for the draft picks, and there's literally a shitload of talent, y'all, at receivers coming out of college. And I was looking at a lot of them, and one dude I really like is Traylon Burks. I think he's ranked number 5th or number 6th receiver coming out of college. So he would definitely probably be on the board still around 10, around the 10th pick. So that's why I told everybody I'm really not worried about it. That's why I told everybody I lowered my expectation real low and had it really low. And I said, if we win, we win. We lose, we lose. At the end of the day, we lost so much talent and we lost our best, talent on the team, and Jameis that held everything down for us. Keeping this team, motivated, and they just not the same. So I told people at the end of the damn day, if we don't make the playoffs, I'm happy with it. If our record ain't that good, I'm happy with it because that's a higher draft pick. And I'm telling y'all, we're gonna get our hand on somebody good. And then we just got to see what the free agent does. You never know. We might get us a top draft pick this year, and they might go after somebody in free agency. Like a veteran receiver that's really good. To help us out. And then they might actually go with a nice O-line in the first round, or they might go with like a good defensive player that we might pick up, like a good defensive end. We do need a defensive end sooner or later to get rid of Cameron Jordan and them, and Davenport and them keeps getting hurt. So I mean, are we going to stick with them after this season? So we got a lot that we need to work on. And I told people we also need to be looking like second or third round. We need to be looking for a safety to replace Malcolm Jenkins because he ain't gonna be here much longer. He's getting old. So, I mean, you got to find little pieces around here to keep the team down next year because if you find you a good, solid number 2 receiver and you can get somebody out of the draft or get a veteran if you want to, and then you go get you a safety to replace Malcolm Jenkins and you get a good DN to help out and get you a good offensive lineman in the draft and everybody comes back healthy, I'm telling you, you're going to have a nice, good team. You have James at quarterback, Kamara and Mark Ingram back there, Tony Jones Jr., then you go to receivers. You'll have your Michael Thomas. You'll have your veteran receiver that can hold down the number 2. You'll have Callaway, Deontay Harris, and all them back next year. You'll have your tight end Trotman back. You'll have Jawan Johnson. So maybe you can do an upgrade at tight end if you want to, like a veteran tight end that knows what he's doing. And then your defense is just already set. Like I said, Michael Jenkins might be here one more year, but after that he's gone. So you might as well find a replacement to learn behind him for about 1 year and then see what he can do. And basically, your defense is set. Like we already said, they already said we just need to make sure we pay Marcus Williams after this year. And next year, we need to make sure we pay City Deuce. And then everybody else, you good. And everybody else, you good. Because like I told everybody, you got Pete Warner for 4 years for the rookie contract. You got Peyton Turner, 4 years, rookie contract. You got David Adamato, I think, ends his contract next year, too, sometime. I think 2022 it ends. I think DeMario Davis is on like a 2 or 3 year contract with it, so he might have like 2 more years. Kawan's only on a 1 year, so if you want to keep signing Kawan to a small 1 year because he keeps wanting to play with us, that's fine with me. Keep the defense attached with him. And then you just signed Lattimore to a big deal. You just got a Debo 4 years contract. This man's showing that he can play in the league. And then a lot of people are giving up on Bradley Roby, but I told everybody Bradley Roby's his first year with us. He's trying to get the team chemistry together. He's learning from Chris Broussard now, trying to learn from him. So we got to see what he looks like. Because I said, do you really want to get rid of Bradley Roby next year? After this year,
maybe
you just traded a 3rd round pick for this dude. So I mean, give this man a chance to see what he can do. Make sure maybe he'll be better down the road. Like maybe the rest of these 5 games he might show us something. But we just got to see, and we just got to see how he improves. But like I said, at the end of the day, when you make it to the playoffs, they even said it. The reason why the Tampa Bay got a easier schedule than us is because we won the division. They didn't. So the worse your record is, the easier your schedule. So just think of losing the rest of these games and you might have to win like 1. You get a high draft pick and your schedule is so much easier next year, and then you got a whole healthy team ready to spank some ass. I'm telling y'all, it will be so good for us, and we'll be playing every game at home too, because we'll have probably one of the best record playing the worst teams in the NFL because of our record for this year, and having a high draft pick, getting the people we need to win. Yeah. And that's my key to it. That's why I said I'm a Saints fan, and I do not want the Saints to lose. I want us to go to the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. But what's the point of going to the playoffs if you're not gonna make it out the first round? The offense proved to you the last 5 weeks we can't do nothing.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I agree with both sides. I don't want to see us, just tanking just to tank. I don't want to see us, wasting time just for the sake of saying we made the playoffs. So I mean, I agree with you 100% with everything that you just said. I don't think it's like we say these things and we giving you upticks and we giving you going down a list of things that could actually transpire, miraculously in a way for us to make the playoffs. But that just doesn't say, okay, it's gonna happen. I mean,
Yeah.
we could just like the Giants, just like the Falcons, we literally was supposed to go into these games and defensively shut these teams down, but that didn't happen. So I mean, they could literally come out and move the ball on us, just much to our chagrin, because it didn't happen before. It's not like we just it's just I said good things have happened on the defensive side. I didn't say we lead a lockdown because they definitely have been very liable for letdowns this year. So I mean, I think that things like that, honestly, they find a way to take care of themselves. I don't think we're
Yep.
going out there to tank. I think we're going to give it all we got, but I don't think we're a very good football team. And
Yeah.
I think that that's going to reflect it anyways. I love Jameis Winston. I want Jameis Winston on my team. The only good thing that happened with the injury, if anything, is he gets back. He has another opportunity to sign for a very cheap price because of the injury, and you have more empirical data and tape on him under the Saints offense doing what he was doing, with the 13 tubs and 3 picks and the efficiency and everything else that so it's like he's coming back. But not only is he coming back, we have tape on how we can can sustain and have a continuum of that. And also keep things under the cap, keep it very, pedestrian, so we can go get another, wide receiver in free agency. We can move these pieces. I do have to disagree with you with Bradley Roby. I think Bradley Roby was one of those pieces that we signed, like as a safety valve, if you will, if Paulson Adebo wasn't very good or he wasn't very responsive on the field or to Chris Richard. He didn't cost the arm and a leg, so why cut him? Of course. And of course we had injuries that he came into the slot for. He helped play a couple of games this year that we needed somebody on the field in the slot for when CD went out. But I think we can move on from Bradley Roby because again, he's young, but he's not that young. He's been in the league too. And he it's one of those things to where it's like a generous jackrabbit thing. Either you are where you are in your career and you're good, or you're not, period, because you've been in the league long enough to know your position and know what's going on. So, it's not some developing situation with him, and he was just a safety valve anyway. So, that's capital in him, to me, my opinion, if we, decide to part ways with him, but I think it all starts with, getting Jameis back in the building because Jameis, I hate to keep saying it
Yep.
because you can't, not trying to, numerically make it sound like he's not worth it, but it could be a very cheap contract. We're a very cheap team right now, and we'll still have all the opportunity in the world to possibly go get another offensive lineman, get a pass rusher, uh, have these certain moving pieces that is just not the arm in the bank. It's just, we just kind of, emptied out for. So that's where I'm at with it. And, I can't wait to see Jameis Winston back on the team and to see him, run this offense, a full year. Quan Alexander, I think we definitely signed Quan Alexander. I think the only thing with Quan was, can he stay healthy? I mean, is he going to be one of those people that's going to be injury prone? And he had a couple little minor issues this year, but overall, that Achilles tendon is fine. So I think he's definitely signed. So I think we're gonna start to have more depth with Pete Werner, emerging Pete Werner this year. Caden Ellis, we're gonna have more depth in linebacker. room. So yeah, we set ourselves up to solidify our defense, definitely.
Yep.
But Jameis Winston getting the opportunity and having him back in the building, it furthers a lot. It allows us to a lot more money towards things that we need, and a lot more capital that we could put forward to certain things that we need. So yeah, I don't think we tanking. Look, I don't think we look at a situation and say, "Oh, let's lose because we can lose." I just think that the product we put on the field will, I think that will reflect that. I mean, we're just not a very good football team offensively right now. So it's not like you have to go out there deliberately trying to lose a game. I just think honestly, our defense can play as well as it wants, but if our offense can't score, if we can't do anything, especially against a defense like New York Jets, because geez, they're one of the worst. Like I said, they rank 30. They're ranked dead last in
Hey,
takeaways. Like
hey,
they
see, that's the question, and that's the thing I want to say too. Is that like, let's say the Saints does get the W tomorrow, right? We can't just take a look at it and say, "Hey, we won." I told y'all we still got to set up the playoffs, man. And if we keep this hot streak, we start winning again. We can actually, move forward. No, we can't even look at it like that because it's the goddamn Jets. It ain't like the Jets are the best team in the league and you beat them. Now you can look at it if you beat them and then you go beat the Tampa Bay next week too. Then you can look at it and say, okay, look, maybe we do have a shot. We beat the Tampa Bay again, and with this squad, now let's see what we can do. Now, if you lose to the Jets, then you just look at it like, what the hell can we do now? I mean, you can't even beat the Jets. How are we going to win in the playoffs?
Yeah,
So it can go
I think
two
that's
different
what we've
ways.
been doing. It's going week to week.
Exactly why
I think
So,
that's what we've been doing, is going week to week to see exactly where we stand.
and it's not like I don't have hope, It ain't like I don't have hope for the Saints. It's just that I look at it at the end of the day, it's like they show you for the past 5 weeks what our offense looks like, but what our defense could possibly do for you. But when they get tired on the field, they just can't do nothing. So it ain't like I don't have faith in us at all. It's just that I see a better outcome of us losing most of these games and getting a better pick in the future. And I feel like that's better for us than just going to the first game in the playoffs and then realizing we probably won't make it out unless we get some luck, unless they say, oh, Jameis Winston's fully here now, let's bring him back. Michael Thomas ready to come back. Then, yeah, I would love to have hope. I'll be like, let's make it to the playoffs. We'll get our people back. But we ain't get nobody back when we go to the playoffs,
Look, if you make the playoffs, man, like there's no reason for you to be worried about even getting bounced out, because the odds of us making the playoffs depend on how many games we win. If we lose one game and we make it, we still capable of getting out of that wild card round. All right.
Yeah.
If we win out, then you shouldn't have any problems, because that means that your team is hot. It's on fire. So,
right.
I hear what you're saying. Looking forward to the future, being Morpheus, cracking.
Yeah. Because it would help us out more. I just think it'll help us out more towards the future instead of. So it ain't like I'm saying, I don't want to make the playoffs. Like, trust me, I would love to make the playoffs and then rub it in people's face like this. Look, so basically making the playoffs, all we can say as a Saints fan is rubbing in people's face. It's like, we made it to the playoffs with this squad. That's the only thing you're getting positive out of it.
Right.
Because that's the positive shit you're getting out of it.
I mean,
now, the negative, the only good thing you're getting out of it if you don't make the playoffs, if you keep losing, you're going to get a good high draft pick to get you a good piece, to keep adding on with you. You're going to have an easier schedule next year to start winning more games when your team's literally at a full strength and you don't have to go against the big top competition you're going against right now with the team that you don't have. So you get more out of it. But like I said, at the end of the day, if we do make the playoffs, congrats, team. At least we made it with the team that we had. But like I said, I don't see us going forward unless they literally made an announcement, right before the playoffs. Oh, Jameis and Michael Thomas is coming back before the playoffs. Then I'll say, let's do it.
Yeah, I don't see a big playoff run at all. At anything, like we haven't shown that we could sustain drives in a very long time. So that we had a couple of bright spots. It was almost, now that I think about it, it's borderline impressive what we did against Dallas. To stay in the game as long as we did. The turnovers doomed us at the end of the game. The pick six definitely doomed us. But, we're not a very good football team offensively now. at all.
Yep.
You know, and what do we do about, what do we do about the wide receiver? Even if Michael Thomas is back and he's playing well, we still need somebody
Yep.
else.
We do. Oh,
So it's
two things real quick, y'all. Also, shout out to Mr. Paul, y'all. Uncle Paulie's in here. He's
oh, Uncle
from
Paul
Big
Lee,
Q's. Usually he's in Big Q, so he's in here tonight. But
the
also, I gotta
historian.
hey, Miss who was that put that in? Was it Miss? Yeah, Miss Be Kind. I gotta tell you something about this. Let me pull it up right here. She said, "But Peyton won't pick the player/position we need in the draft. I'm getting fed up." Now listen to this. Did you know the players that we needed? So remember how they said we did need a corner this year, to replace Janoris Jenkins? We got a Debo. They're around. But did you not realize the last 2 years the Saints tried to get a receiver, that they wanted and a corner that they can, replace, and they were trying to move up? Did you hear the last 2 or 3 years that they were going to trade up into the top 10 and get something, but nobody would accept their trade exceptions because they don't like the Saints? So that's why he didn't get the people. So he just went with whatever's on the board that he felt like was good for him. So he thought Peyton Turner was good first round, and then last year he thought Cesar Ruiz was going to be off the board in the second, so he went with him and went with his guts. Now, if he had the 10 pick, like I said, if you lost the rest of the games and you actually have your top 10 pick, then he can actually do something that he want to do. He can get a play that he wanted, but he couldn't because he didn't have that pick. So he felt like, I'm going with the best option that I felt like was his option, So I feel like he would go with somebody if they literally had a top receiver on the board and he can get his hands on them, especially in the top 10, trust me, he will probably go after it. But when you're all the way at the top 20 every year, because you kept winning your division the last 4 years, and you got a top 20-something pick, it's hard to find a really good talent like that on the field. And especially at receiver, because, I thought we was going to get Justin Jefferson or somebody like that, but he went off the board to the Vikings and stuff. And, everybody that they were looking at and say, "Oh, I want him," they took him right before we get him every time. It's just we're always so close to getting a really good player, but somebody's got to steal him because they heard the Saints are about to get him. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean Terrence Marshall. I mean, we was very close to getting getting Patrick Mahomes out of everybody a couple years ago. I mean, we was very close, very, very, very close. More close than a lot of people really understand. Jeff Ireland was one of the first people to look at Patrick Mahomes out of Texas Tech and say, I think we're gonna try to sneakishly get this guy. It didn't work out that way. It's half and half for the fault. It's like teams ask for what they ask for, and you got to be willing to give it up if you believe in it that much. So
I gotta answer this. Sorry to cut you off. I just gotta answer this, and I know y'all can probably back me up a little bit. For GR3, man, he said, "I understood your points, Hoodie. But look, no way was we were winning a Super Bowl with Aaron Brooks, but I was super happy reaching the playoff with them, right? Hell yeah!" And I said, "Hey, we totally understand that, but you got to realize, I think back then when we had Aaron Brooks and all of them, and we actually made it to the playoffs, we were wearing paper. We were a losing franchise. We had a paper bag over our head, and we understood that oh shit, we made it to the playoffs. We got to be happy now, as a fan. But you got to realize, we'll be happy as a fan too if we made the playoff with this broken team right now that's all hurt and shit. But at the end of the day, I'm looking at it as next year saying we are literally 1 to 2 pieces away from winning this all if these people wasn't hurt either. And I said,
and you gotta understand too,
pick to get you that piece that can close out. So what if we get a top 10 pick because we lost some of these games? You get you a top pick, you get you a replacement receiver that athlete can come out the draft, be a legit number 2 and maybe a legit number 1 if Thomas went down. Then now you're good for next year. In this case, Thomas did get hurt. You got that legit dude you just picked up. You go on free agency, find you another safety, defensive end, receiver, whatever you want to put in those places. And then I'm going to go over it again with the reason why I want Winston. He's cheap. He's going to probably take 10 to 15 million. He ain't going to ask for no $30, $40 million contract like Russell Wilson will. And you can get more pieces around him, and we can be a Super Bowl team like it's nothing. And that's where I'm trying to go with the Geo3. And it ain't like, I'm saying I'm not happy if we make it. I would love the Saints to make the playoffs and be happy and all that. But at the end of the day, I'm looking at it as how weak our offense is if we're not going to make it out the first round. I feel like next year is our year to run it with because everybody will be healthy. Plus, you would have a nice top 10 pick with a good team already to add an extra piece in there that to help you with the boost on offense. Right. It's a no-brainer. But us as a Saints fan, too, we've been a winning culture the last 4 years, been won the division and made the playoffs. So everybody wants that playoff. But if you actually look at the future, which is next year, with everybody healthy, you can look at it like that and be like, damn, I understand where you're coming from because we can get us a top pick. But then I know where they're coming from too. With us as a Saints fan, we want to be in the playoff. We want to prove everybody wrong because I know a lot of us like to argue with people in other YouTube channels and stuff like that, other chats, Twitter, you name it, social media. So I feel like a lot of people are wanting us to make the playoffs to say at least our team made the playoff and look what we had. That's what they want. But me as a fan, I'm not a person that's going to go in there and say, haha, we made the playoffs with my team. Look at this. I'm going to look at it as, hey, we made the playoffs, but now we lost out on a top 10 pick because now we're going to be back in the playoffs and be in the top 20 pick for this next year. And we're not going to be able to trade up because nobody likes us. Nobody likes the Saints, and they don't like Sean Payton when he finds somebody that he really likes and he asks somebody to trade up so he can get somebody. They do not like that, and they always deny his stuff. And it's just that's just how it is.
And the way they operate is a very, it's not, liking and disliking is one thing, but a lot of that is not to do with liking or not. It's about what it's like if somebody wants something, how bad are you willing to go get it? And a lot of the times we just haven't really been that desperate to go get it. We haven't did what was asked of us to get those players. It's not so much as liking us or not or working with us. They asking for certain things that we just haven't been able to, haven't been willing to give up in the last couple seasons. We had a couple close calls with some big names to be here. But like I said, situations don't work out that way. Joe Brady at caught whiff of us getting Terrence Marshall, and something happened with, that was taken away. I think what's his name, Tommy Stevens, a couple years ago, 2 seasons ago, he was supposed to get drafted by us, and
he did.
Just out of nowhere. What up?
Tommy Stevens, he wasn't drafted. Yeah, we did draft him in the 7th round, and then we used him, and then we got rid of him, and then Carolina picked him up.
And then
after we released him,
things is it's gamesmanship and nitpicking and stuff, but a lot of times it's about capital. It's about what you're willing to give up, how much you believe in a certain product, and are you willing to give those things up to get it? And it just hasn't worked out for other reasons or the other furthermore. But I want to give perspective to one thing right now. Okay, the first 10 years of us as Saints, since 1967, the first 10 years. We went on a 5-game losing streak 5 times. So out of those 10 years, we went on 5-game losing streak 5 times, 5 years in a row out of that, okay?
Hey guys,
Mike Dicker was here 3 years. We went on a 5-game losing streak 2 of those 3 years with Mike Dicker. Okay? That's desperate. That's desperation. That's wanting to win. That's some crazy stuff. Sean Payton's been here since 2006. This is the first 5-game losing streak we've been on since he's been here. We are not the same team. This is not the same situation. So, if you take a year like this year and nothing coming in next year and no weapons and no belief system and, people just dead cash all over the field that's not producing, and you give us, 3 or 4 or 5 more years of this, then of course we're going to be, throwing a Super Bowl party to make the playoffs. But that's not what's going on, man, and not to say we wouldn't be grateful, because that'd be an outstanding job. But we just have to put things in perspective. It is not, gotten that dire, here in a while. So we're not really in that situation where we should be so, ecstatic to make the playoffs, over what we're dealing with. Because, man, look, we NFC South champs 4 years in a row. We are epitome with success. We are synonymous with success. We have won more regular season wins in the last 5 seasons than anybody else in the league. Basically, we are success regular season wise. We definitely, and that's not just yesterday. That's still right now. We just lost the Hall of Fame quarterback. Ramifications come with that. A lot of things fall off. We have to let go of a lot of people. The Sheldon Rankins of the world, the Trey Hendersons of the world, the Jack Rabbits of the world, the Emmanuel Sanders of the world. These players we have to let go of because, that's what happens when you try to go for a Super Bowl and it doesn't work out. People, teams get disbanded, but we're not at that point just yet of being so desperate for playoff berths. We basically need to play our cards smart for the next 2 or 3 years to where we can find our way back at the top, especially when you see a Tom Brady retiring again. You see Joe Brady just got fired from Carolina, so that whole little changing of the guard that people was talking about, that's not happening in Carolina. Obviously, Atlanta is still Atlanta. They got Kyle Pitts, they got Matt Ryan, they got Cordell Patterson that's good this year for some odd reason. But, we are not like, some, piece of trash, just sinking to the bottom of the pond at all. Like we are literally still like very perky and have a lot of buoyancy in our body. And we just need to find the right current. And we're going to be right back on top of the NFC South like we was always supposed to be. I do believe that. And, I love your gratitude though. I love your gratitude because that humility is, that's what, keeps us alive and keeps us believing and keeps us wanting success, having, not just getting so content with, give me the next. So I appreciate it and commend it, but we're not there yet, partner. We're not there yet. We done been through some crazy stuff, as a New Orleans Saint. This is the first time it's happened in a long time. So, we definitely don't want it to get there. And the historian chiming in, he said Jim Moore had 2 0-5 starts back-to-back seasons near the end of his run in New Orleans. So that's another one, Jim Moore. He had 0-5 starts. So I mean, it's been all of these coaches that then entered the organization and had these 0-5 streaks. It's the first time it happened with Sean, and not to absolve Sean, not to say Sean, it can't progressively get worse. I'm just saying where we at right now, we're not there yet. So, let's make the changes we need to make.
And then so these will be 2 questions for you. I can ask you questions. So one of them, the question would be, what do you think the Saints are missing? Like next year, what do you think we'll be missing on offense? Because some people said they feel like we're missing a few pieces on offense, but me personally, I feel like we're just missing one piece, and that is just an extra receiver, a number 2 that can hold it down if somebody got hurt. Because, like I said, I know everybody's thinking the O-line is really trash, but the O-line just been banged up. If the O-line is healthy, with Teron Armstead on your side, you got Ramczyk, you got Pete not hurt, you got McCoy, and you got Cesar Ruiz all playing all year together without having to switch positions because everybody's getting hurt, the O-line will be solid enough to win a Super Bowl. Trust me.
Mm-hmm.
Alvin Kamara, Mark Ingram, they're good enough to win a Super Bowl for us. Michael Thomas, you get a number 2 receiver. You got Callaway, Deontay Harris in them. You got enough pieces right there. That's good. And then quarterback, Jameis Winston. He's good enough to win. Jameis Winston is good enough for me to win. So what do you got to see? Hey, 5-2 with the squad we had. 5-2 with the squad we had, with the receivers we had too. That shows you he can do something. And just wait till Michael Thomas been on the field with him. Just think if he had that blanket guy to go to, like, hey, nothing's open, I'm gonna toss it down to you on a slant every time. It's easy. And then the only other thing that I can see besides the receiver is a tight end. Just maybe like a veteran guy. Like if we had a Jared Cook again, just a guy that knows how to get open and catch the ball. Besides fumbling, we'll be straight.
I before this season started, I honestly thought that Kyle Rudolph was gonna be on our team. That was before I got caught wolf of Jawan coming over from wide receiver playing tight end. I think we all things considering, you asked me what I think we're missing offensively. I have to say I want to see Cesar Ruiz moving in the right spot. Or maybe his number 2 come in and make him compete harder because it's specialty there. It's special. It's special there. it has to be quantified. It has to be blossom. It has to be, you know, it has to be materialized. And once that comes out, then I can say I have 100% confidence in our, you know, offensive line, contingent on who we bring in for Teron Armstead. Like I said, he, you know, I think that's a foregone conclusion. Teron Armstead is gonna be gone. Pete
Probably.
Pete's very versatile. That's
Pete.
one of the. I mean, Pete has played so many different snaps and so many different sides of the ball throughout his career. It's very impressive. I don't want to start to see the injury bug start to bite him to where he's not reliable, you know, because that happened last year and it's happening a little bit this year after he got paid. So it's all contingent on other
Hey,
things, man. You know, it's all contingent on other things. I think we missing, you know, we missing a couple pieces, and you know, it might take more than one draft pick to get that together. You know what I'm saying? It might take a couple draft picks. It might not just be a quick fix, you know, one thing. We definitely need a number two receiver. We definitely need somebody on the other side of the ball. I would love if Nick Vanette, Adam Troutman, and Jawan Johnson could mold up into one person, you know, like a Michael Bay
yeah.
transformer or something, and
Just think
that
of
would
that.
be, you know,
Just think of that.
a tight end for us, because you know the way it is now is that you put Jawan on. Well, you know, not now, but earlier on in the season, especially when Jameis was in, and you know we were more confident as an offense. You know, our packages looked like, you know, Adam coming in the game, we're running the ball. Jawan's coming in the game, oh, we passing the ball. You know, so it kind of, you know, showed your hand because of their, you know, flaws. And Jawan's not the best blocker. Adam wasn't the best receiver, and so you switched it out. You start to see Nick Vanette, which he pretty much had a good game. I think he had like 5 catches, a couple targets. Um, had that
Against the
great screen
Cowboys.
pass. And yeah, so he's a veteran, but at again, you would love to see somebody that's coming in at a younger age than that.
Yep.
But either at that, you know, just a
What's
tight
your
end that can do all three things at a you know, phenomenal
So what is
level.
your thought? So what would be your thoughts though too? Because I see a few people like Uncle Polly and Elite in them says another running back as well. Like I kind of agree, but I don't because Mark Ingram, you got him maybe 2 more years, maybe.
You're
And
right.
Kamara, but I really do believe in Tony Jones. A lot of people think he's trash, but to me, the only thing he's missing, and he just needs to work out with Kamara on this, is finding that open hole. Once he finds that open hole, he can be explosive just like Kamara, y'all. Like Tony Jones had a lot of upside this year, and he got injured, in one of the games the way he got tackled, and he was out for 4 or 5 games, and then he came back again. But I'm telling you, if he can just find that one little open hole, and going into like just behind the tackles and trying to get whatever he can, he's explosive when he got the open field. Because I seen him. You seen it last year, and you seen a little bit this year, um, against the Packers, and you seen a little bit, in preseason. He was actually when he got to that open hole in the open field, he was doing good. It was just this year he's just not really finding the open holes as much. But I mean, can you blame him with the open holes with the O line being hurt? I mean, so maybe there ain't that many open holes that we thinking. But like we said, Tony Jones is just not as good as Kamara, but he's a solid backup to have. Like I said, once he works out with Kamara and say, hey, this is how I can find the open holes, because he's not really that bad of a running back like everybody think he is.
My jury's still out on Tony. One thing about him is that early on in his career, you would have loved to see him more durable, more fresh than what he was. Not so much, dancing around the holes and stuff, because that does come in time. You have to learn that from a coaching standpoint, from a running style standpoint, from just who you are, catching your niche. Unfortunately, that's a trial by fire position, where the more times you get hit, the more snaps you take, the more you get familiar with that physicality you need to be efficient for your personal, needs and to get through the game. But my jury's still out on him. I would have loved to see him have a little bit more spring and not be as hurt, and not be as indecisive. Be a little bit more
Yeah.
fresher legs.
And
Not
what you
having to
mean?
get on.
But I wanted to ask you, what do you mean by like early in his career? Because Tony Jones though, this is only his second year. Last year he got drafted. Well, he was an undrafted player, and he barely played. The only time he played last year was one game. That was that one game when Kamara had COVID and everybody
That's what
literally
I'm
had
saying.
COVID. It was just him. It was only one game
Right.
we got to see him play. So this
That's
year
what I'm
was his
saying.
first year. You know.
That's exactly what I'm saying. This is his first year playing. I would have wanted to see him more fresher. I would have wanted to see him more tougher. I know injuries happen, but at a running back level, to get hurt early on like that, before you learning your jump cuts, before you can really get into your style of running the ball, that that my jury already was out on him, and now this happens. I just want to see how he bounces back. But even at that, even with Tony Jones, I think that's the least I worry. I honest to God think Mark Ingram is here for the next year or two, because I think him and Alvin Kamara get along so well. Honest to God, I think Ty Montgomery, once he's healthy, I think he's a fit too. He's a veteran. And a lot of this is reactionary. I want to see how they bounce back in this offseason. I really am interested to see how Tony Jones Jr. reacts to this offseason.
Yep.
With a lot of other younger wide receivers we got, but especially Tony Jones, because after Mark is 2 years down the line, 2 3 years down the line, it's probably him and his position to take as far as that number 2 goes. But I want to see a little bit more, man. I want to see a little bit more. I didn't see what I wanted to see in Tony Jones, so my jury's still out on him. You
Yeah.
never know how this whole situation worked, bro. We might trade Ty Montgomery and Tony Jones just to get Latavius Murray back on the team. Like the NFL is crazy. And maybe that's just me and my wishful thinking, but I actually like Latavius Murray a lot. I really did. I had no issues with Latavius Murray, bro. Like I love his run style. He was a big back. He fell forward, always getting positive yardage. I hated when the money wasn't enough and we had to move on from. Honest to God, I felt promised. I felt confident in Tony Jones after we played Baltimore. He was getting some good yardage on the ground. I can't think of the numbers, but after that, he started to fall off, and he didn't play as well against Jacksonville. And then the season started, and he didn't really play as well. Then he gets hurt, then he hurts Teron and gets hurt at the same time. Like it was like, man, that soon, bro. Like you got hurt that soon, damn. And I know he's trying to come back, but it just for me, it kind of put the wind out of the sails for me personally on him getting hurt so soon in his career like that and having to miss so much time, because he is a weapon that we desperately needed and he desperately needs. Like I said, a running back, bro, is like a belt. It's like you gotta wear that belt to form and fit. Period. You're not looking at it hang up. You're not go and check on his elasticity or the toughness of the leather while it's hanging in the closet. No, you have to be broken in as a running back. And so that's where that toughness comes from. And for him to be hurt so soon, it kind of left me a little bit, discouraged with him. But even at that, I think that's the least of our worries. I think we need to secure up our offensive line, whatever we may do with that, and get a wide receiver. I mean, even if
Yep.
we Nick Vannett in it, and even if we're, the short and intermediate routes, man, we could do with a tight end. Of course, Adam Troutman will suffice. Of course, a lot of people want to see more of him. Could be nerves, bad season. Want to see how he bounces back after this season. But it's definitely promise there. The promise wasn't there. He wouldn't have made the catches that got him hurt in the first place. I think he really just had one of those years where he was mentally riled up and he just needed to chill. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad we had Nick Vannett. But honestly, I think we need another wide receiver. We need a number 2 wide receiver. I don't know if
Yep.
Traquan is gonna be back. I don't know, who's gonna be back. I'm pretty sure Marquez is gonna be back. Deontay is a restricted free agent. He's gonna be back. LeJordan Humphrey is gonna be back. But we definitely need to say whoever's lined up on the other side of Michael Thomas, we need to know that when he throws the ball that he's going to catch it. Short, intermediate, screen, blocking, whatever. Like, you're just reliable there. There's been too much inconsistency. It's so fickle this year. Somebody catch a ball, then they don't, then they catch and they don't, and they're getting hurt, from jumping and, hitting the ground. And it's just been very inconsistent. So whoever's lining up over there, we just want to make sure that they can, very consistent and comfortable and confident in what they do. They might be in the building. It might be Winston. It might be Quan Baker. They just haven't touched the field yet. You know what I'm saying? So we're a couple pieces away from being confident in this offense. I mean, you don't just lose Drew Brees and say, "Oh, we, replace him and everything's fine." That's not Drew Brees. Drew Brees replaced a lot of stuff himself that wasn't even his position.
Yep.
Throwing people open and the time in the pocket, doing things, the little things like that he was such a genius at. Those things leave. It's a big void to fill. So
it's crazy too how we got like receivers from the past that like when they go to the dome, like Lance Moore and stuff like that, like people that might not be the biggest name, like we shout for because we know who Lance Moore was. We know Drew Brees made him a big name. But if you tell somebody today, Lance Moore was a really great receiver, and they're gonna be like, who the fuck was Lance Moore? Because nobody really knows him like that, unless you're really a big, huge Saints fan to know like Drew Brees made a lot of these people famous because once they left, like Kenny Stills. Before we traded him, before we got rid of him, he was doing really good with the Saints, and then you got rid of him, and then he never really became himself again because Drew Brees probably made him look good on the stuff that they used him for to help him.
Right.
So that's why I tell people we used a lot of no-name people, and I feel like if you had a Drew Brees type of guy back there, you could use some people that we've been using. But if you watched what Jameis Winston did and went 5-2. With the people we have still on this roster right now, that shows you he kind of had like a Drew Brees thing going where I can work with these receivers, but guess what? If you gave me better receivers, hell yeah, I'll dominate too, with these people. But he still won games. He did what he could. And like I told everybody, I think the Panthers game, it was a fluke, no coaches, no 15 starters out. Like you had everybody else, like it's just like there was no way of us able to win that against a team that was healthy. So that's why I tell people. And then also, GR3 said Willie Snead. Willie Snead wasn't really a big name. I mean, he looked good with the Saints, right? He tested out the Ravens and some other teams now, and I think he's on the Panthers practice squad or something like that.
Yeah.
But he's not really a big name receiver anymore after he left Drew Brees and them. So I mean, that's why I just try to tell people. It's just like we all miss Drew Brees. But like I told everybody, with the way Jameis practices, the way Jameis loves the game of football, the way you hear people talk about him, like DeMar Davis, the way you hear him talk about him about how he's the best player he ever played with, best person in the locker room he ever been with. You hear the way he does stuff. I've seen a few videos already with Jameis before he got injured. He was playing football with somebody in New Orleans, a little kid out there that he didn't even know, just playing football with him as he walked the street and stuff like that. So if you just look at the character that he is, I feel like he could be the next Drew Brees type of guy if he does the work that Drew did. Go in, the first guy in, the last guy out, studying them playbooks, studying, the defense and stuff, so you can call audibles. And a lot of people think that a dude like Jameis can just come into the team right away and just be Drew Brees. You can't. Drew Brees wasn't Drew Brees when he first got here with us. He had to learn the playbook. He had to learn the defense. It took him like 2 or 3 years, and then look what happened. When he finally caught on to it, we made it to the Super Bowl. So give Jameis Winston a few years, learn the playbook, learn the chemistry with everybody, build his team up, and I'm telling you, in the next year or two, we're going to be in the Super Bowl. I feel it.
If we can shore up that offensive line and we could get another wide receiver, I definitely do believe. I honest to God, do believe that. I do believe it. I honestly believe it. I think Demario Davis is the best free agent we've ever had on the defensive side of the ball. He's the best leader on the defensive side of the ball we've ever signed. I don't want to see the light start to dim on his career because he 34, 35. He got a couple more seasons. You don't want to start to see that light dwindle. But for the time being, I think our defense can bring us to a playoff run. I really do. Yep. But we haven't. But we have to shore up our offense, man.
Hey,
That truth be told, since 2017, all of our draft and all of our capital has went to the side of the defense. I mean, that's where our money went, and it's showing.
but
People
guess
talk
what?
shit about PJ. People talk shit about Marcus. I get it. People. I don't like Peyton Turner. I don't know what the fuck is Peyton Turner. I don't know. I get. He just first year and all this other shit, but he always hurt. I don't like that. It's the same thing with Marcus. I'm just starting to come around and look at Marcus and see why he's, overall the eighth ranked best defensive lineman in the game today for his run and his passing and everything that he does in between. But he has to stay on the field. He has to stay healthy. And, the Zach Bond is an outside rusher. I want to see, eventually, take some snaps on the outside. Cameron Jordan, when he goes, well, who's going to, somebody has to be there. Are we going to let go of all of these players to get a defensive end? It's just a lot of questions. So it's one thing after another. And I don't think, these things happen with one draft. They don't happen with two drafts. You have to take your time, and we have to, get out, configure our team right, bro. Let that time play how it's supposed to play out, and get our pieces and keep moving forward. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, that's what we need to do. And then there was a thing that I was looking at. If anybody's got any free time, go look up this guy. His name is Traylon Burks. I've been working on some videos lately, staying up a little late, and I'm breaking down his highlights, and I'm trying to break down plays that he ran in college, for him, and show you what he can do. But I'm gonna tell you just a little bit about him. His name is Traylon Burks from Arkansas. He's like a top 5, top 6 receiver coming out this draft. When I looked at the plays, they ran a lot of screen passes to him. Like quick screens, hike the ball, drew it to him, and they let him make the plays. They did some jet sweeps with him, and they drew down the field, like literally slants, like Michael Thomas does, down the field, just throw it up to him. He went up and goes and get it, mossing people. And then I was looking, okay, dude can do screens, he can do a jet sweep, he can run slants, and he can moss people. And I said, okay. So when I was listening to the announcer guy, he said this dude is 6'3".
Yeah,
225 pounds. And I said, that would be a nice piece. But then some people be looking at it like, you got a Michael Thomas, why you want another big man? I'm like, well, who's going to go on 2 big men on the field?
Yeah, no, that makes no sense to say, why would you want 2 big men? Football is played by big men. Like, come on. Like, Brandon Coleman was not a small person. Derry Henderson was not a small person. Just because you had your Lance Moores and your Willie Sneads and your Dan Arnolds, like, these people, they're not small people. And to have that, it's like Kyle Pitts right now, to have that height and that girth and the be agile like he is, like, that shit crazy. So yeah, of course. And I do know exactly who you're talking about. Don't think he's gonna be on that when I don't unless he get caught with some dumb off the field shenanigans, some taking some gas, or teams not liking his attitude, or him not being smart, or things like that the existential things that could kind of take him to day 2 or day 3. I don't know if he's gonna be there.
I think he can be there. I think he can be there for us. Like I said, if we lose some of these games and we actually get into the top 10, we can get to him, because some of the teams that will be ahead of us might not really need a receiver, They're really going to be looking for, like, quarterbacks, again, offensive line, people to protect their quarterbacks and stuff like that, running backs if they want one. But I really don't see all these teams, because, before Traylon Burks goes out, you definitely got to keep an eye on Jamison Williams. Alabama, everybody loves Alabama receivers. They're going to look at the other guy that plays for Alabama, too, before him. People's going to look at both of the receivers from Ohio State first, too. They said some people got their eyes on the USC guy. Something, I think it's Landon something, or whatever the first name is.
Yeah.
But he's like 6'5". He's 6'5", launching people. So, they said he might go quicker than some other people. So I'm saying not everybody got their eyes on Traylon Burks, so he could slide to us easily.
He could slide.
And that's why I told him. And that's why me, as a Saints YouTuber and a Saints fan, studying into it, that's why, in my eyes, I see why the Saints should lose some games. Like, I know we're not going to lose it on purpose to say, hey, here's everybody, taking everybody out, let's do it. That's what I would do. I would say, let's just tank, let's do what we can do. But they not. So they showing you they still trying to fight, but we losing at the same time. So If we did that and got into the top 10, we can easily get our hands on at least on one of them receivers. At least one of those top 5, 6 receivers. We can easily get our hands because there's no way they get in 6 receivers. All of those top really good 6 receivers going to go all 10 picks. I don't think that. There's no teams that's going to really need it. And then also, they got 2 teams in the draft. I think it's the Jets or the Giants or the Eagles. I got to relook at it. That have 2 picks each in the first 10 picks. Back-to-back picks in the first 10. So that means, let's say they want 1 receiver. Well, they're not going to go get 2 receivers back-to-back. I doubt it. Especially the Giants, because you already got Kenny Galladay and you got receivers around them. They're going to want like an offensive lineman to protect Daniel Jones or something, or the defensive player.
It's going to be a crazy draft, dude. You right about that. The Dolphins too, huh? The Dolphins got some draft capital.
I think they did. Let me look at it again. Let me search it up on my phone. I'm gonna tell y'all right now who's the draft orders. NFL draft order.
It's gonna be a crazy offseason. And I don't think it's gonna be like a lot of quarterbacks, which I don't care. I think it's gonna be a lot of wide receivers though, and I do think it's gonna be an allotment of offensive linemen too.
So this is your picks right now. You ready? Detroit Lions number 1, Jags 2, Texans 3, the Jets 4. But this thing is, the Jets are ahead of us in the pick, and we ranked at 11. What if the Jets beat us tomorrow? And what if they beat 2 more teams this year? Somehow push through and win 2 more. The Saints would be ahead of them now. They would be moving up in those draft picks. You got the Giants spot. Then you got the Jets again at number 6 because they got a pick from Seattle, and Seattle's 4-8 right now. So that's a good thing for them. The Giants got another pick at number 7 because of the Bears that they traded with. Panthers and the Falcons are somehow at 8 and 9, or 8 and 9, but they're ahead of us in our division. It don't make no sense, but I'll let it go. It's whatever.
It's got to be supplemental from years past.
And then the Vikings are ahead of us at 5 and 7, and then we at number 11, and then we're ahead of the Eagles. So this thing, if let's say we did lose a few more games, the Vikings kept winning, the Falcons or the Panthers somehow win a few more to crawl in. We were literally being like the top 7, top 8 pick. We'll definitely get our hands on it. And that's why I'm trying to tell everybody. If we lose a few games, it wouldn't hurt us because we'll have almost a top 5 pick. We already at 11.
Yeah,
you let Carolina, you get the Falcons, you get the Vikings who just won today. You let them get a few more wins. I'm telling you, dog, you're gonna be in the top 5 pick almost. You're getting your hand on somebody. I'm telling you. Yeah. And it's so good. It feels so good that we can actually get somebody. But people are like, no, we want to win the playoffs. I understand. We've been to the playoffs 4 years in a goddamn row, won the NFC South. We understand that shit. But if you look at it in the future with everybody out right now, you have no shot of winning in the playoffs. I said the only way I would say don't worry about the thing. If I heard every single starter on everybody's team got hurt like us. If they lost their starting quarterback, their starting receiver, their left tackle, their right tackle, their running back, and a few defensive players like us, if they lost their people, then I'll say, let's go. We're going to the Super Bowl. There ain't nobody beating our team because nobody know how to win with their backups. But guess what? We do. So that's when I would say that.
And the season is kind of unfolding as perfect for us, and it's putting us in this quintessential position to reload naturally. With things how things have happened this year, with Jameis on down, so it's really up in the air. I don't say tank. I really say being competitive. But like I said earlier, bro, I think just naturally we're just not a very good team offensively, and it doesn't really matter if Ryan Ramczyk playing, it doesn't really matter if Teron playing, it doesn't really matter if Alvin playing, Mark playing, it doesn't matter. We don't have enough pieces to sustain drives, and I think that's just it is what it is. So it's not like we tanking, but I don't think in a perfect world, and we probably will get these wins, but I don't see us doing that. In the perfect world, we would have beat the Titans. In a perfect world, we would have, not lost to the Falcons, not lost to the Giants at home. Like,
You
so it
gotta
is what
you
it
gotta
is.
love him. You gotta love Uncle Polly, y'all. Even though
Well,
at first I was a little cautious about him when I first met him with what's his name, Big Q's. When I was a
I just
little,
want to ask
a
you a
little worried about
question.
him, but you saw what he put. He said Sean Payton needs to be locked out of the draft.
If he gon'
The draft room.
if he gonna take a water boy from Western Kentucky in the second round, then yeah, I have to agree with you, Uncle Paul. I mean, you gotta understand, like, I'm not disagreeing with you at all with these draft picks as of late. The draft picks really have been, other than our 2017, killer year. That was our year, bro. That was our draft. But other than that, we kind of been had some duds and so from every position, from Kakaha to, of course, you dealing with Cesar Ruiz and like we ran, we Peyton Turner and Marcus like, I think Marcus Davenport is not a bust because when he's on the field, he's actually one of the best defensive linemen in the game. So I can't just say a bust. He a lost cause. I can't say that. I
Yeah,
wish
he's
he
just
was
injured.
more along than what he was. But shit, Peyton Turner already being hurt like that, I can't help but to say, and I really have to look at other people in his position to see how injuries played a role if they ever came back, or especially under Dennis Allen, or like certain situations if they bounce back.
Yeah,
I don't want to just call Peyton Turner a dud or a bust, but I mean,
yeah,
he's here to be on the field, not be on the sideline like that. Like, so that's sus already, and
yeah,
Tanyo coming from Kansas City, I thought he would have been on the field. When he's on the field, he's a run blocker. I mean, he's a run stopper. Excellent right on side of Onyemata. They awesome, and they got the most two worst, most difficult names to pronounce saying fast in the game, and so you ain't really even commentating that shit before you can even say their name. They fucking you up. I love
and
it. And when passing is a good when he's healthy. Of course, all that's some jokes. But when he's healthy, he's deadly, especially with Big Onion. And but he's not. He hasn't been. Shit. He hasn't been there neither. So and I'm not talking. That he's not been a pick. This was a trade. But I'm just saying how we have to maneuver around these bad decisions we possibly have made, and you know that doesn't help the draft picks that Sean had the last 2-3 years. Like, oh, we need this. We got things coming up. Man, we need a wide receiver. Oh, it's New Orleans Saints draft. You know, Cesar Ruiz, Michigan. Like, okay, and we draft Peyton Turner, Houston. Like, for what? Like, I mean, and then you give the benefit of the doubt, especially me, because I love my coach, and I'm like, okay, well, you see some things that we don't see. I'm gonna give him a shot, and then they kind of been throwing egg in my face. So I'm right there
yeah.
with you. I'm right there with y'all. You know
Now,
what I'm
now the
saying?
thing is, now the only good thing is, it's we do get a top 5 pick somehow because we lose and everybody starts winning. That's in that position right now. If we can somehow, let's say the receiver's on the top board, right? You still got a top receiver, but if this dude named Kayvon Thibodeau is on the board still from Oregon, defensive end,
Oregon.
I would get him because they said he's literally like a Chase Young coming out of college. They said
Yeah.
he's a beast
And he
on the
might
defensive end.
it might be exactly where we go get him because Cam is here 1 or 2 years and that's it. And the way Peyton Turner is turning out, like I said, he's gonna be on this team next year. Marcus Davenport gonna be on this team next year. These things just don't happen in one off season, but you know. It's certainly some questions. It's not, man. I almost anticipate the off season to see exactly what we do. I didn't anticipate this offseason because I
Yep.
knew we didn't win the Super Bowl, right? And I knew the cap space was, crazy. So
Hey,
I knew we was about to lose a lot of people. I knew it was either Marcus or Trey, and we had to let Trey go. I knew Jack Rabbit had to go. Shit, I knew Sheldon Rankin was on his way out. I knew, Malcolm Brown had to go. A lot of these different pieces, and
yeah. So
Jack
Malcolm
Cook
Brown
is
was
what it
good.
is. And
Malcolm Brown and Adamado, they were a nice duo up the middle. It was hard to run on them two. And shit, I really do not know. Like I know a lot of people this year. I don't know if y'all realize it though. I realized it. It's so funny. It's a funny story. Did you not realize last year was the Patriots' first year without Tom Brady? Remember, Tom Brady went to Tampa, won the Super Bowl. Well, they went. They had the shitty pick. They had a top 10 pick. They went and got Matt Jones. They added a few free agent people last year on defense, and a few on offense. Two good tight ends. And look where they at right now. So guess what? The Saints are probably about to fall in the same thing. They lost Drew Brees this year. Next year, they probably going to bring back Jameis Winston again. They're going to go have a top 10 pick most likely with the way it's looking. Get you a top receiver or something that you really need. Get your good defensive pieces. Get you a few free agent people. Work that cap space around with everybody that you want to keep around to where we can do what Nick Underhill said, where we can save $80 to $90 million in cap space this year. And you'll have about $30 to $40 million to play around with next year to sign Jameis back, sign some people, and get you some good free agent people. And I'm telling you, we're gonna be in the same situation as them this year because the Patriots actually got some easy schedule this year, and that's why they're looking even better now. They got a little easier schedule. They got a great defense, and they got a nice, solid quarterback in Matt Jones that can handle the game clock and make sure he doesn't throw too many picks. And they got a nice, good, coach and Ben Belichick. And I said that's all we need to make it to the playoffs and to the Super Bowl. And I think we had a side that maybe making the Super Bowl if we all could have, trust Michael Thomas to be back already and Jameis not being hurt and the O-line and defense never got banged up this year. Like if everybody was literally healthy, I would believe in us being in the Super Bowl this year if we were all healthy. But we not.
I mean, it's way too early for me to say that. I'm not even gonna do myself like that, because we've seen a lot of good teams. We've seen a lot of bad teams have good starts to their year, and it kind of just, tape figured it out, teams figured it out. They didn't, have that sustained success like they wish, and then again, you did see teams that did do that. So I mean, either way it could have went. You know what I'm saying? But Jameis still is rewriting his story, and I think there will be as a New Orleans Saint. But I want to ask 504, like who you think gonna be? You say we're gonna lose a lot of more people. We're gonna lose a lot of more people next year. Who you think we? You know what I'm saying? We gotta chunk the.
I don't think we're losing nobody. I don't think we're losing. The only pieces that we're most likely
I don't see no casualties.
They said the people that we most likely losing next year is Armstead, and some people are predicting maybe Malcolm Jenkins because he is getting old. Even though he's still got another year with us on his contract, he could just retire. But that's the only people you're really losing if you think about it, because the only people you gotta pay next year, because everybody else is on contracts and you're good. The only people that you really need to pay a contract to is the dude the franchise tag this year, Marcus Williams. CD Deuce contract ends next year after 2022. After 2022 ends, everybody else is basically paid and stuff. It's just Armstead that you might literally lose because he said he might test free agency to see what people will pay him, and you most likely will lose him because a freaking 5-6 time Pro Bowl tackle will definitely get paid by a shitty ass team. Now, you're more than welcome to go get paid your top money with a shitty team, or you can take the money we offer you and play with a good Saints team next year that should be fully healthy and everything. So that's how I see it. I don't think we're really losing nobody. Everybody else got paid. Like, Kamara's paid. McCoy is on a contract still. Maurice just got a contract, rookie deal. Ram check.
Ram paid. Unless you talking
Ram
about
Pete paid.
Going trade our team for Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson.
Unless you do that,
Yeah, but see, I knew all these players. Marcus is not going nowhere. I'm gonna let you know.
They franchise tag for a reason.
Yeah, Jenkins, he might
Might and
because he
Olmstead
is
maybe.
getting older. But at the same time, you gotta understand. Go look it up right now. Malcolm Jenkins is second leading tackler on the football team right now. Marcus Williams is the third leading tackler on the team right now. The Demario Davis leads the team in tackles, but Jenkins is right there with him. Marcus is right there with him. We've been doing this for 2 years now that Teron Armstead was gonna go. Cam is Cam. I mean, Cam gonna get paid no matter what, and I don't think they just gonna give walking papers to Cam, even if they still playing him. You know, even if he does, get cut or released, they're still paying Cam Jordan. He's not getting off the books no matter what. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Nobody's buying out his contract at his age. So that is what it is. I'm talking about a lot of the other situations that we had going on last year that sucked. I'm talking about, when Malcolm Brown came over from the Patriots, and I knew he had to go eventually. Okay. I'm talking about when you seen, Emmanuel
The Alex
Sanders.
Anzalone. The
That
Alex Anzalone that left, this
well,
year.
I didn't care for. I'm talking about the big name people like we had on contract.
General Jenkins.
Jackrabbit.
Yep.
Emmanuel Sanders. Those pieces that was like shit.
Trey Henderson.
Trey Henderson. I thought that we pop, and I said Latavius could be gone too, but then
I
when
was
the
saying
season
Alex
started,
Anzalone. I was saying Alex Anzalone to fuck with you.
I don't know why you putting them in with them people, bro. Alex could go. Bye, Alex. We're gonna holler at you. You wasn't getting paid anyways. But shit. Other than that, it was a lot of pieces we had to let go of last year that was going on our Super Bowl run that we had to let go of.
Yep.
The shit that we talked about, Jared Cook, I didn't want him on my team, but I knew he was making a lot of money, and I knew Drew Brees was retiring, so I knew he's not like he's young. He was gone. Shit. I'm thinking of one more person. It's just not hitting me right now. Did I say Janoris Jenkins?
Murray's going here.
Huh?
Latavius Murray's going to release him.
Latavius. I thought, maybe Latavius could make it. I thought he was, kind of sneaking by like we was gonna re-sign him, but then when he hit him with that, now for that, I was like, damn, that's another one. I can't be so surprised because I knew, he was on a pretty good contract, Sheldon Rankins, like Thomas Morstead, so there is nothing like that's gonna happen. We don't have them people on our team for us to lose them and miss them like that this year at all.
Yeah.
I said, unless you're talking about Trey Alvin, Michael, Jameis, Quan, Demario, all for Russell Wilson or something.
Just think of this offseason, though, this past offseason. Did you not realize we were literally down to a Demario Davis at linebacker, and that was it? Because Alex Anzalone left. Because we didn't really want him, so we let him walk. So, basically, if you didn't have Pete Warner get drafted, if you didn't get Kawan back in there, you literally would be down to Demario Davis, hurt Caden Ellis, and a Chase Hansen that got hurt. So, I mean, that's what what you would have. That would be your linebackers. That's linebacking core would not be good. But thank God we found Pete Warner in the draft. Thank God Kawan came back, improving himself.
That's another. The more we talk about it, the more I get like dopamine in my brain thinking about it, and I get happier and happier and happier because, Quan was a big question mark. Coming out of college, going to San Fran. Then, going to Tampa Bay, that hurt, that bug, that nagging bug, being snake bit. But he's literally, like, that literally was, like, either going to go one or two ways, people that get hurt. And, like, man, I'm going to stop talking about it. It just hasn't happened that severe this year. So, I think this was a prove-it year. I definitely think he's going to be back next year, getting signed.
I really do think so, too. And then, hey, I agree with 504, and I think Crust agrees with it too. There's no way we're going to be trading none of them big names for Russ. I like our squad. I think our squad is perfect. That's why I told everybody. Jameis Winston is my dude. Jameis Winston's my dude of the future, and I'd rather him over Russell and Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is 38. Literally, you got 2 or 3 years out of him, and he's gone. So, I mean, yeah, if you want one more Super Bowl, go ahead. But I'd rather have a dude that I can have for 15 years and maybe get, 3-5 rings out of somebody like that than having somebody back for 2 or 3 years only, and he retires and only get 1 ring, to be honest with you.
And I mean, you just kicking the can. We already kicking the can. So let's say, Aaron Rodgers comes and he signs and he takes a pay cut and he gets Devontae Adams over here. He gets the bag. Somebody's getting let go of. It's gonna be a casualty somewhere. Somebody got to break even. And even
they bring him.
Even after all that happens, we still got to break bread and still cut ties with those same key players that we just had. We just got done with this whole Super Bowl
if you brought
run
Adams,
shit, right?
If you brought Adams,
that's not happening no more.
If you brought Adams over and Aaron Rodgers, like if Aaron Rodgers came and he brought Devontae Adams over, that means they're gonna be trading Michael Thomas somewhere.
I promise you. Or Juju
There's
Smith.
No way.
Or anybody like that. Anybody like that. Michael Thomas is not gonna be on this team. Maybe Alvin Kamara. You know what I'm saying? There's things not happening. We too broke for that. So the good thing about Jameis is he could come back. He could come back cheap. Got good film on him, good progress, promising shit on tape of what he was doing. Look at Dak had a freaking broke ankle last year and balling out this year. You know what I'm saying? I cannot wait to see what Jameis Winston do. Come back stronger because he got that beast mentality.
Yep.
He gonna come back stronger. He gonna come back, ready to win. The contract not gonna be a big deal. We're gonna re-sign him. We definitely gonna re-sign Quan. I promise you, we're gonna re-sign Quan.
Yeah.
Quan led it's giving us every week. He giving us more opportunities to see what Quan can do. He led us in tackles with 9 tackles against Dallas. It gets better and better and better and better. He's definitely gonna be a part of our team next year. I mean, you get good players for cheap prices, and you can get other players for even steeper prices. But you start off cheap, and you keep who you got in the building and hope they can pop off for you. And I think that's a perfect opportunity for us to do that shit next year. You know what I'm saying? I really do. I really believe that in my heart. I really, really, really do. I'm like I said, I want Adam to play better. Don't know about Adam, going on in the future. Want him to play better.
Who?
I want Juwan Johnson. I want Juwan Johnson to become a better blocker. I want him to become, tougher. He's kind of lengthy, and he don't have a lot of girth. He's just kind of flimsy, and I want him to be a stronger.
He's more of a quiet guy too. He's more of a quiet guy like Callaway too. You notice him and Callaway, they both quiet. They both quiet on the field.
He kind of reserved. He really not though. Juwan act a fool. For real.
He does act though. He's just quiet on the field. Like when he's on the field and he catches the ball, he just
he kind of but that's gonna get worse now, I'm telling you. Because he's like he learning his position now. And he learning shit. But once he gets to being more comfortable, that charisma will come out because Juwan actually does have a lot of charisma. But I'm talking about him blocking and catching and executing his assignments all in one time, not having to take him off the field for any packaging. Him and I get to a point to where both of them are so reliable and such threats to where you can have both of them on the field at the same time and trust them. That's what they wanted from the jump. That's what we need. Have Garrett Griffin and Nick Vannett there when you need them. But I think that's what we came out this year wanting. Adam, Juwan on the field at the same damn time. Not knowing who we going to, not knowing who's blocking, because both of them are, executing and blocking well. Both of them are catching the ball well. So, hit them up. And it didn't happen because, people still learning assignments and Adam going through a little mental phase. And, I hope he get his shit together and come back right. You know what I'm saying? Man, I think that we got a solid foundation to bounce back. out of a lot of teams that would lose a big piece of their offense or a big piece of their team and would not have a chance to, bounce back from it.
Okay, you gotta realize we're not no I'm not gonna say I can't really say it. It's not like we're another organization. I mean, we're basically like the Patriots. You know, we got
Mike
a really
Williams.
good we got a really good head coach to where if you do lose your start, piece, you can still win games because you got a really good ass coach that knows how to win, like Bill Belichick. You saw they lost Tom Brady 1 year, that they went down here, they went and got their replacement with a top pick, and then boom, they back in it again. So I feel like that's how
Yeah,
Sean Payton is. He might have this drop year. Like I don't think this year would have been a drop year, even though we lost Drew. It was just all the injuries is what killed us. It's like you can't even say we lost, Drew. We won't never know now to say, oh, we lost Drew. This is how the next season went. We made it to the playoffs still with like a 13-3 record like he had
right.
as our quarterback because James took over, but no, he got hurt. Michael Thomas was out again this whole season. Offensive linemen got hurt. People had COVID and people got
Yeah.
hurt on defense. So I mean, there's no way of us seeing what could have happened. So that's why I said now you just got to look into next year and see what they got coming.
See what they could do. And it's not like Mac Jones is the second coming of Tom Brady, not as of yet. It's not you can tell mentally it's clicking for him, but as far as the confidence go, as far as the plays on the field go, that's gonna take some time. That shit doesn't happen overnight. You know what I'm saying? He's the perfect piece for what Bill Belichick has done. I mean, they the number one seed. Them dudes passed the ball like 2 or 3 times the other night and still
Three
beat the
times.
Bills.
Three
That
times.
ain't happened in decades. So like that, it's not the same, Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, Deion Branch type of shit going on, but it's some running game, some dabble running game in there. It's some exceptional defense going on in there and just taking everybody by storm. Got hot at the right time. That's one of the teams we beat early in the season. So it's like, we kind of got derailed a little bit. And, Matt Judon is an excellent ball player. He played excellence against us. Kendrick Bourne is an excellent wide receiver. He only gets more confident on the offensive side of the ball for them. So, yep. I mean, I thought the Bills probably would have beat them Monday night, but they didn't get it done. So, shit, I don't know what to say about the Patriots. I don't know if it's like, I want to say they'll make a playoff run, but then I know they're still young and anything can happen, you know what I'm saying? But it's just crazy. They playing some good football. They're playing some good football, bro. They got some key pieces on that team. So, like, yeah, it take a year off, kind of using that year as to see, what direction you want to head in, and then hit the ground running. And, I think that's what we're doing. I think that's exactly what we're doing. You know what I'm saying?
It is what we're doing. That's what I think we're doing. That's why I said I think next year's our year. But is there any last words for you, though, that you want to say before we head out of here tonight? Because I know it's past 1 o'clock already. We've been on here for like 2 hours. We basically covered everything we really needed covered. And I'm going to try to come back here. I'm going to try to go back on live Saturday. Because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I'm off Saturday. And then I'll leave Sunday to go to Tennessee. With my family, with my friends and them for a little while. So I won't be able to do no podcast unless I got good signal out there to do it on my phone or something. But we'll see how about that. But Saturday, I'm going to do another podcast.
Like, you're not going to be able to cap till like Monday.
No, I'm going to be out there Sunday till like Friday. So I won't be back till next week, till like the following week. So I'll be out for like a whole week.
Just send me all your equipment. I'll keep the podcast popping. That'd be awesome.
Hey, that would be cool. But hopefully they got signal.
I just want to say this too. Like, I notice sometimes when I get on and I get to talking my shit, a lot of people kind of, they kind of get off the call. They don't really say they leaving, but they just kind of look up and they gone. And I just want to ask, I hope that ain't me like pushing people off the phone. Like, I hope people like know to like tell me to be quiet and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to take over no podcast or nothing like that. Like, y'all tell me to, let other people talk and don't just let me keep talking. You know what I'm saying?
Goddamn, let me
I
fucking
want to
talk.
talk to everybody.
Shit. Goddamn, let me talk, dog. Shit. No,
Okay, fuck.
I'm just joking with you. I'm just
That's
joking
all
with
you
you.
have to say.
I'm just messing with you. Keep
No,
talking.
no, I'm honestly being serious about that though. I think it's like the second time it happened. Like the OG
Nobody
fell
cares.
off, and the last Saint fell off. Like
OG said he wanted to go to bed. Tyrese, I think Tyrese got tired of us, you and me agreeing on the Saints making the playoffs ain't really worth it, but he believes in the Saints making the playoffs. But I mean, yeah, anybody can make the playoffs. Like we said, we still got 5 games left. We can make it. What I'm trying to make the point to get to our fans, I just still like, hey, if you lose, there's no point of panicking. There's no point of getting pissed off about it, because at the end of the day, you're looking at something great, because with all these injuries and they're not coming back, because they literally said out for the season,
right.
then you got nothing coming back for the playoffs. So you're going to get knocked out in the playoffs. So why
Yeah,
not lose a few more games,
but
get you a high draft pick, and just be there? Like, the only thing you getting out of it is just saying, I made the playoffs. That's all you getting out of it. Unless you
and
make
I
it to the
mean,
Super Bowl and win, then hey, you won a Super Bowl. But
look, and a playoff appearance is nothing to sneeze at. Like ain't nobody sitting up here like don't want that to happen or nothing like that. No, I want like we on the same team. Like man, I just want people to talk to, just speak what they speaking on, and understand that we not agreeing or disagreeing, because at the end of the day, my opinion don't matter. I don't have a hot take for somebody. I don't have, some crazy thing to say to, push people to one way or another, or, make people not want to debate me and that, because I'm not trying to debate. I'm kind of just talking to what I know, and how history repeats itself, and you got to look at patterns in life and in things you do to see what maybe may happen next. I'm not saying we shouldn't win or we should win, or it don't. I'm a saint. We're gonna do what we got to do.
yep,
You know, but I don't never want
everybody
nobody
likes
to
you,
be
though.
thinking about not talking because I'm talking. I mean, kick me off mute my mic before you let that happen. You feel me? Like for real. I'm being for real, son.
Yeah,
Like
but OG just hopped out of here because he said he had to go to bed anyway. And instead of, rudely interrupting and doing all that, he just hopped off. And then, like I said, I think Tyrese just left because, like I told you, he probably went to bed too. But then again, I think he don't like the playoff, because you notice every time we were talking about the playoff spot and about us getting a high draft pick, he kept trying to, about to ask a question about it, but then he didn't really say nothing. So I think that's what it is. But he'll be back on here anyway. We always go back live. He always back on here. We talk about it. It was the same
most
thing. We had the
definitely.
conversation about Taysom Hill. Remember, we still had the conversation about that. Um,
Appreciate that,
about
good.
how
Appreciate that.
about how I didn't really think um Taysom Hill was gonna really do nothing, and it's because of his throwing ability. But his running game, I told everybody, I don't doubt his running game. His running game is strong. Like, to be honest with you, if you really wanted to set him to be one position only, put him at running back. I would not
Yeah.
mind him being a full time running back or fullback. Do whatever you want. He can be a full time that. But like I said, at the end of the day, I really do think the season is basically over. And the reason why I say it's over, because no matter what you do to get into the playoffs, I don't really think we get out that number one spot unless you're playing another injured team that sucks. Because they got injuries. Then you'll make it out the first round and make it to the second round. But the further you make it into the playoffs, the harder your schedule is going to get for next year. Um, and that's all you're doing is pushing yourself into a deep hole next year, playing a harder schedule. When you get an easier schedule, you get a top 10 draft pick, even maybe a top 5. Like I told you, we're literally at number 11. The people that are in front of us at 9, at 10, 9, 8, and
Mhm.
7 are all
Right.
teams. I got the same record as us. So if they win a few more and
Right.
we don't, we move into the top 5. So it's like it's
Right.
easy to move in, but people don't see it as that. They see it as we're the
And I
fans
mean,
that
we need a lot of
made it
help
last
to
year.
make the playoffs, bro. Like, it'll be miraculous. I mean, like, we literally need all of these teams to lose, bro. And then 3 of those teams, they got tiebreaker on us as we speak. I mean, like it. So you never know, bro. Like it. Okay. So it basically goes like this, right? If a team ends up with the same record at the end of the year, then it goes by conference win loss record, right? So whoever has more win, like the so say, you know, we beat the Falcons, and we split it, and we got the same record at the end of the year, then it's gonna go by who has as many NFC wins on the year, and that's what's gonna break the tiebreaker. I mean, it's a lot. Like we are not in control of our own destiny at all. Like it's so, it's it's some other shit going on. I think this happened with us in the Carolina Panthers a couple years ago. I think in like 2016.
Oh,
18.
no, I think the 16 was when the Panthers made it to the Super Bowl with
Right,
Cam Newton,
right.
but I think it was the 18 was when the year that we played them in the wild card and we literally won like in the last like quarter or overtime or something against them in the wild card.
I was at that game too. It was lit.
Yeah, that game
They
was
say it was
crazy.
intentional grounding, but I mean it was so close, bruh. Oh my God, the Superdome was lit, bruh. Christian McCaffrey had us scared as fuck though. I know that. Like he ran that ball back. It was a crazy game. But yeah, man, it comes down to a lot of stuff. We're not in control of this. I want people, to understand that. Not saying we will, we won't. It don't matter. We just talking. It is what it is. We win, we lose, we lose. It is what it is. We done been through enough this year to, not, have decency to talk about, how we feeling and let people know, everybody know that I love being with y'all, love coming on here and talking. I will have my own podcast here eventually, like I've been doing some stat stuff and I've been getting some stuff together, writing a few scripts of what I want to talk about and getting my equipment and things like that. But, I'm not on here to take over people's shows. I'm not on here to talk and dominate the discussion. I want people to talk with me and, that's it is what it is,
Yep. So with that being said,
I have
y'all.
no last words, bro.
Gotcha. Well, with that being said, y'all, we're gonna end the podcast here. Thanks to everybody that's been on here for the past 2 hours, well, basically 2.5 hours almost. We've been on here just talking Saints football. So thanks to you, CT Crusher. Thanks to Tyrese and Mr. Jerry. Everybody that was on here. And the people that support the channel, y'all. Thanks everybody for being here. And also, like I said, I'm gonna try to be back Saturday. And all I can tell my people is, keep your head up. Keep, cheering for this team. Keep supporting them. Like I said, if they win, I support them. If they lose, I support them. And like I said, at the end of the day, if they do make the playoffs, I'm still support them, But that's when I look into it and say, what do we have now, for making the playoffs? So that's why I just tell people, just keep your heads up. I'm telling y'all, next year will definitely be a better season for sure when you got everybody healthy, not everybody hurt. And hopefully we re-sign Jameis. Like I said, I do not want no damn Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers. But if at the end of the day, if Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers, if it had to come down and Tom Payton literally called me and said, Hoodie, Jube, would you rather have Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers? I'm not getting Jameis Winston back no matter what. But then I'll tell him Russell Wilson because he's a little bit younger. He's more mobile. I can see him, hoping it's a little bit better than Rodgers. But that's really it, y'all. So with that being said, y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all like this. If y'all don't know, y'all will know. There's no YouTube without your boy Hoodie Jude, y'all. Good night to everybody, and who dat to y'all.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, get ready for an entertainment explosion. Get ready for an avalanche of awesomeness. Get ready to go live with your boy. Here he is, Hoodie Jube. And make sure you hit the subscribe button for your chance to win tickets to a live New Orleans Saints football game.